This is part 2 of a 2-part series, just to let you know. Now, obviously, the reason I'm making this video is because of Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. I've waited a few months for this to come out, pre-order and everything, to finally see that sequel, and it came out. I've been playing it since day one, and my god, is this game massive. This is the Cordon. You can see Rookie Village and the train overpass and such, and this is how it compares to the rest of the map. It's quote-unquote lore of the zone, that when emissions happen, anomalies change, and so too does the area. That's definitely not what's going on here. Everything's been moved around. The swamp especially, that was left next to the Cordon, and moved all the way to the bottom right of the map. Of course, you can't go along without talking about the performance. I don't have the most powerful machine ever, with an i5-13600K and a 4060, and even with that, it still runs like shit. AI upscaling and frame generation makes this game playable, but it's something you'll have to deal with if you want to play it at all. Welcome to the new world of modern gaming, everyone, where native resolution has been renamed to brute force rendering. 3/4 of your frame rate is generated through AI, and no game will ever be optimized. It's like having motion blur on all the time with unavoidable input lag. When the game looks like this, it feels even more perplexing why the lag is as constant as it is. Then you have the bugs. It's guaranteed, no matter the size of the game or the amount of hours put in, an open world game will have bugs. With a design choice firmly against creating a curated experience, you just can't account for the different ways millions of players are going to play. It's impossible. Even so, this game has a lot of bugs. Entire quests not working, NPCs glitch when down, NPCs floating in hospital beds, NPCs giving up in the middle of a firefight, exploring areas just to get soft locked, and I will go into design choices, but even with all the massive downsides, I fucking love this game. Immediately, you're woken up by a loud explosion in your kitchen. The year is 2021, 9 years after the first game. Everything is destroyed. The wallpaper is peeling off the walls, and the culprit, an artifact, outside of the zone.
Are you sure the perimeter surrounding the zone is really enough? If a powerful emission were to occur,
Listen, the zone has remained stable for years. Besides, we didn't establish the most advanced institution in human history without first guaranteeing its safety. As the head of the Scientific Institute for Research of the Chernobyl area, or SIRCAA for short, I believe the wonders that we will bring to the world far outweigh the potential risks.
how big are these risks exactly?
The zone reveals a whole new world. We can stick with the old one, fearing change. But tell me, do you want our descendants to remember us as cowards? Or as those who dared to venture forward to a new, better humanity?
The injured were evacuated. I remind our listeners that a similar incident happened in our region quite recently, ruining homes and livelihoods. City officials urge people to stay calm, assuring them the situation is totally under control.
Thankfully, we're just outside the zone's radius. Any closer, and it would have killed us. Now, fair warning, there's around about like 5 hours worth of cutscene in this game. There's no way I'm going to play all that, so a lot of these cutscenes are going to get summarized. Herman here has never seen an artifact like this before, and he doesn't really believe what we say it is. But Skiff wants a new home, so we're going into the zone to find some other scientists. The anomalies have grown more chaotic since we've last seen them, and all we have is the famed Makarov pistol, and through the perimeter breach we enter into the zone once again. We'll find an AK on the Stalker's body, and we continue past an electro ball. A flash is waiting for us as we enter.
Whoa! Jesus.
They've never been so aggressive. Following the marker on our compass leads us to a ladder. Yellow paint, everybody. If you didn't know how to climb a ladder or open a box, the yellow paint guides you. Hooray for the yellow paint. From the roof, it's into a rusted up mobile science lab. It's dark. Only emergency lights are on, and everyone here was shot. Very recently. We find Nahoda.
Well, what is it? Any updates?
The goat is dead. So are the other scientists.
Dead? Oh, God. We're screwed. Get out of there immediately.
Stop freaking out and tell me where the data is stored.
Find his laptop. The coordinates should be in there.
When we download the coordinates, a new voice speaks on the radio. His name is Solder and tells us to use the scanner at locations it specifies. We're taught how to find an artifact, but I think we made too much noise.
Someone's here. Fuck! Already?
Bloodsuckers are back and are as dangerous as ever. Of course, we needed something to use our rounds on.
Fuck me, okay. It's... Fucking hell. That was scary as shit.
Placing the scanner on the first position knocks down a transmission tower, as well as creating an electron anomaly. Okay, look, I'm not used to them looking like that, and it killed me, okay? Though there's a death counter. I'm sure nobody's gonna use that for ego statements. It's a little tricky, but we grab the scanner and head to the next location. In a pit with a strikingly similar antenna of trash, still nothing's happening. We'll go to the last position to set up the scanner. This time it definitely picked up something. But that only alerted the military to our location. It's only a few soldiers, so nothing to worry about, except someone else is killing them, so we gotta take our artifact and scanner and get the hell out of here. That doesn't last for long, however.
Skip, come in! Come in! Sort of sold us out, you hear me? The greedy son of a bitch sold us out!
Finish him, and let's backtrack.
Welcome to Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Now, we wake up only to meet our first main character.
Whoa! Some fireworks, huh?
Who are you?
I'm your guardian angel. Here's your bolt.
Now, besides Skiff having generic protagonist voice, Richter is like Ulysses from Fallout 4, both in appearance and likability. I don't really like him, but you just gotta deal. This is where we learn two very important things about the zone. One, only go in the direction that the game wants you to. Two, every time you die, everything needs to load again. So a good tip, never die in this game, or you'll experience a punishment worse than death for the death you just experienced. After realizing which way I was allowed to go, I caught up with Richter. It is very Fallout in the way that interactions go, which will be very jarring and in between in-game cutscenes. Richter mentions a town named Zalicia, and that will be our first destination. I'm a bit of an idiot. You could definitely tell I have a pistol here, but I thought I was stripped of everything. So traveling in the zone, you can find groups of stalkers shooting at each other. And honestly, I wish I didn't have a gun at this part, because I like the feeling of how hopeless you can be in the zone before we get sorted with some good weapons and become really overpowered. So fuck you, my idea is better. We arrive at Zalicia for the first time. The cool weather effects of the game with dust and lightning is cool, but drops frames consistently. Over the course of my playthrough, you'll see the graphics get worse and worse as I desperately try to keep the game running. Richter talked about the bar here. A nice smooth transition from gameplay to cutscene as we sit down to meet Gaffer.
What do you want? Sit down and stay out of sight.
3 of my men never reported back from their overnight patrol around the lesser zone. We found their bodies by the old bridge. trader who goes by Hamster is peddling this service weapon. It belonged to one of those wardens. He got it from Squint.
Apologies, Captain, but Zalicia is a free trade zone. We have an agreement with Koshino.
Where is Squint?
The zone has its share of secrets. Who are we to meddle in its design?
Squint was there for sure. He finished off the wounded and looted their bodies. Is that the Stalker way now?
Who am I to judge?
If you won't tell me, others will. Seize them!
Easy now. Nobody's going anywhere.
If you don't want the innocent to suffer, find me the culprit.
Okay, that's the ward. Well, a couple guys from it. Instead of the military, we have the wardens, which is the same thing, essentially. Now, we have designated side quests, all the blue quests. Everyone went out of their way to play the first, 4 side quests before stopping to make their short cash grab video. So, poppy fields, dog hunting, you know it all by now. I'm more interested about how this story goes, so I ignored his request and followed Gaffer to his home. We need to find Solder, they need to find Squint. You would not believe how hard it is to not make a joke. Asking around Zalicia, you're treated to a range of differing voice acting.
As soon as you walk into the field, it saps your energy.
I've got the best deals in the zone. Ask anyone. Guaranteed.
What's interesting is how many Brits there are. I thought the UK stood for Ukraine, not the United Kingdom. You can even help the ward instead of Richter if you so choose to. Obviously, I would never, but the option's there. The journey to find Squint leads us to a group of bandits trying to muscle a stalker in that house. Both are relatively friendly for the moment, and this doesn't lead to Squint, but can give us some quick weapons for the future. In the water tower is a scoped AK, which pairs really nicely with headshotting bandits, and on the bodies are a few new guns. Helping this guy forces him to pay off some drinking debts or something, I don't know. The real journey is to a warehouse, also inhabited with bandits, who probably knows where Squint is, but I don't have the money to pay for the information, so I have to kill them. Quite literally, that is the only option. Headshots still work as intended. Thankfully, the dude had a PDA recording on him.
Hey, Elbow, here's a quick update. We had some sketchy Stalker snooping around. We sent him packing towards a farmstead. Don't sweat it. The loot's gonna be top-notch.
So we walk to the farmstead, accosted by dogs every couple minutes, and in the windmill is our man.
Easy there. I'm a friend. Got any ideas how to escape the lesser zone?
Just one, but I need an artifact. There's one in the cave nearby.
Now, here's the thing. There's a cave down below our feet that I actually explored before finding Squint, and now that the quest has started, a bloodsucker just randomly appears. And now you can find an artifact, which also didn't spawn before. I realize if I always talk about little stuff like this, I'll be complaining forever, but man, talk about lame for forced tension like that. Anyways, man gets his artifact, we take Squint's ward sensors, which is apparently what the people really care about, so it doesn't matter whether he killed the ward soldiers or not after all, and we run back to Zalicia. Give that to Richter because fuck the ward, and Solder isn't here. He's at some IPSF place called the Sphere, so who knows where that is, but some information is at an anomalous center. The ribs has something that might spark interest. Amazingly, it's like 2 feet away. And man, are some of these anomalies fucking beautiful. You won't find much down in the depths of the ribs, but you will find the worst enemies of all. It's incredibly dark and your flashlight shines just enough light to see in front of you, but there's no mistaking that glowing light. If you want the information, you'll have to take out a poltergeist on your own. The poltergeists have one new ability, raising the earth below it to create a shield of rock and concrete. I'm not ready for one of these quite yet, so finding a PDA on a soldier's corpse is all I need to get the hell out of here. Now we must infiltrate the Sphere itself. It's just down the road. But this is where you find the first and most annoying decision GSC made. A quick question, how do you spawn enemies in an open world? Now, that should depend differently from game to game, but for all the previous games, Gamma included, enemies spawn with area generation, with mutants spawning very far away in all areas so that you have time to notice them, avoid them, or attack without the spawning feeling too gamified. With Stalker 2, however, enemies spawn almost exclusively behind you. Don't get me wrong, they still spawn along with the areas. But if the game feels you need to fight something, it will spawn something behind you. Right now it's the ward, and a little bit of a spoiler, but here's the swamp from Clear Sky. We'll get to here eventually, but this is where the spawning mechanic is at its worst. At a certain point, when my screen outlines with red, I instinctively do an about face because I know that something spawned right behind me, never in front. The church is another wholly egregious spot, and circling the building will spawn new mutants 10 feet away. Even if you just killed the mutants in the same spot 2 minutes before that happens. It's one of the worst things about Stalker 2, to be honest. But we're not even supposed to fight the sphere, as we're guided to a tunnel that leads into the building instead. Rats who spawn in droves, or rats that live to entertain. It's here in the underground that we meet the man we've been looking for.
Oi, drop the gun. Who the fuck are you?
Who'd you sell Herman out to?
Huh, you got some nerve, mate. Breaking into a military base, raising hell, and now you're pestering me with questions. Shit, I should shoot you right here and be done with it.
Well, your stove's on fire.
What?
Where's my fucking scanner?
Oh, shit! Look, I'm a nobody. I just put anomalies on the map. Sure, I sold stuff on the side to guys like you, but that's it. Nestor runs the scanner business.
Nestor?
He's the one you should be talking to. The kingpin of garbage. The huge pile of trash, you can't miss it. It's north of... Oh, goddamn bread. Thanks, mate. I didn't betray Herman. I've sold some people out in my day. But not you guys.
You can kill him. I chose not to. Now we'll have to fight our way out of the base, which is easier said than done.
Holy fuck!
We'll walk the lonely road to Silesia only to be warned of an emission. And this is exactly how it feels to play Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl.
Hey guys, you know there's an emission coming, right? The music just stops.
As I said, weather destroys the game's FPS, and emissions are no different. Personally, I still prefer Gamma's emissions, but we take what we can get. So, Gaffer gives us a key to some bridge building. We're in a small area called the Lesser Zone, and we no longer need to be in it. You could call this the end of the first act. 3 hours in, and this small little chunk is completed. The garbage has also increased in size. Even though we're not going to the marketplace and the hangar, what we experience is a massive unveiling of how in-depth and complicated our little story will be. This is Star, a man who knows about Nestor, but we have to save his brothers in arms. Go figure. It's one of the many missions that are doable in stealth. Now, I turned off the threat indicator because I don't want it. Hell, if I could turn off the red symbols on the compass at the top, I would too, but that's not an option. So stealth along playing at the highest difficulty is probably impossible like this. Just know that it exists, and I'm not doing it. Anyways, I found one of the men, Serpentine.
Oh, it's Freedom. Is that Freedom? What is that? That's new.
Not really an important dude, but I will say, don't be confused. Just because they're green doesn't make them Freedom Soldiers. They're actually tied to a new faction called Spark. We actually go down into a laboratory here as well. That doesn't harbor much history, since we came back here when we were Stray Luck, but there's a tape recording with Nestor's name on it.
What's that got to do with me? I'm just a tech. You're a tech who worked on the scanner's diode. Everyone who's so much as touched as one of them is on the hit list. Come on, be quick about it. Like I got a choice.
Well. The detention center sent word that a stalker is coming to help. So I'm gonna treat you as a friend. For now.
For now? Are you threatening me?
On the contrary, I'm offering you a helping hand. I suggest you come to me. Up the stairs. I sent you the code to the door.
It's here where we meet the familiar stranger.
Shoot! It's me, Skiff.
Give me a hand. Bring that shit over here.
He doesn't stay for long, only enough to say goodbye, and we'll meet up with him again.
I'll see you around, Skiff.
So it's off to the slag heap to confront Nestor. It straight up looks like something from Mad Max or something, as if like a bomb hit it. But no, the slag heap's pretty quaint. We do meet the other man from the recording, Diode.
Where can I find Nestor?
If you think I had a hand in it, you're barking up the wrong tree. I've got a workshop not far from here. The only ones who knew about it were Nestor and me. And now the thugs do too, apparently. They showed up without warning. I'm better with tools than a gun, so I had to get creative. I turned the scanner on, it created a bunch of anomalies, and I managed to get away. You really ought to take a look around my workshop. I figure you might find something useful in those thugs' pockets.
Now, all of that is great, and we'll deal with it, but now, let's explore upgrades. As if we're playing Call of Duty, upgrades got a bit of an upgrade themselves, or downgrade, depending on how you look at it. Everything can get upgraded as long as you have the money to do so. The enhancements may not be too expensive, but to even advance your gear, you need to repair it. Now, on the first day, a patch was released to lower the spending on repairs, as well as how fast gear got broken. Even after that, though, this is where most, if not all of your money is going. Mainly on repairs, and to my knowledge, even though it's not explained, certain technicians can only upgrade certain parts. So if something's blocked out and you can't add to your gear, it's because they're not good enough or you haven't progressed the story. Foregoing the 3 tiers of tools. Also, blueprints are in the game, similar to Clear Sky, but there's only like 10 and it's not game-breaking to find them. It's whatever. Let's just put weight reduction on everything and get out of here. Diode's workshop is surrounded by anomalies. Above ground is some ball lightning that appears in your face. As you fall underground, it's full of electricity and fire, both of which don't kill you and you can just face tank it. You need to steal a blue keycard on a bandit's body, and that's it. We take it to Diode, who points us into the direction of a stash Nestor set up here. I am 100% convinced some nuke blew up here because searching the slag heap is insane, and you can't convince me this place just turned into this with time, especially the radiation. In this random location, I died in about 5 seconds, making it slightly more radioactive than the elephant's foot when it was created, but whatever. Richter's here, because of course he is.
Richter. Richter.
Skiff.
What are you doing here?
Just living a little. I mean, take a look at the view. Stay away from the edge.
You ever been to the zone's center?
Not to the plant, no. You can't get in.
Why are the Stalkers so obsessed with the CNPP?
Because the plant is the heart of it all. It's the very essence of the zone. I mean, you won't find anything there now. It's a plunder pyramid. Word is even the wish granter was stolen. But I have been to Pripyat, and this will pay for one ride.
What?
Oh, we got hammered once and went on the Ferris wheel. It was a pretty shitty ride, but we had a hell of a time! If you ever go to Pripyat, the first ride on the Ferris wheel is on me.
Man, that view of the CNPP is just... wow. Stalker has always struggled with elevation, and the level-based structure never allowed for a view like this. It's the dawn of a new era, and with the Wish Granter gone, you'd wonder why anyone would go there. But more importantly, who owns the Wish Granter now? Just kidding. Skip only cares about the scanner, and Nestor left a convenient note in his stash about some scanner operation. So around the zone, we go looking for our artifact. We don't find it, only a couple of random ones. Broken scanners, but not ours. You can find weapon attachments around the game just by chance, from traders or inside of stashes. I have a silencer on my pistol for stealth sections I'm not doing, as well as finding bread out in the wild. I don't care, I'm going to eat this. Now, for the most part, you never worried about eating food. Even in Gamma, food was something you ate maybe every hour of gameplay, but oh man, you better have food on you in this one. You have the same 3 items, right? Sausage, bread, and the Tourist Delight, with an additional condensed milk, or even water reduces it a little. Walking in real life, which I know you can't relate, burns around about about 80 calories a mile, depending on how much you weigh. But in the zone, you're carrying guns, ammo, artifacts, communist merch, an iPad with autistic videos on them, everything at least weighing 100 pounds. And genuinely, half of this game is just walking to new locations. So you'd be burning a lot of fucking calories. So it makes sense, but eating and I'm not kidding, every 5 minutes to satiate your hunger is so annoying. Also, this quick access thing, where it only has 2 buttons that you press to use one item or hold it down to use another, doesn't work half the time. And the animation plays anyways, so you can eat a whole ghost sausage that doesn't exist. It happens with bandages and med packs too. So because of this, the quick access can sometimes be slower than just going into your inventory and using the item that way. Well, we were going to the Bandit Kingpin, right? I don't know, that's where the marker led me. They're in that factory that was once Freedom's or whatever. We don't meet Nestor, but this man, Varen, who wants to become Kingpin, and it just so happens he also had some friends who were attacked by scanner-stealing stalkers. And I can interrogate one of these scanner goblins if I help him. You get to choose whether or not to kill a duty sympathizer or Freedom one. Well, I chose neither, because I found just a random duty soldier out in the zone. He's insane. Dude's just walking around killing mutants and asking me to join along, only for him to die, like, instantly. Now, if I play with him, he'll let me sneak into a duty base so I can kill Roosevelt. And that game includes playing the most dangerous game with me. So I have to live for 1 straight minute while he hunts me down. Well, more like hide and maybe get a drink or something. It's not that special. It's pointless, honestly, but it's just the little things. I killed Roosevelt, took his PDA, and went back to the bandits.
Roosevelt no longer poses a problem. Here's the proof.
Nice. Now I see how you fought off those creepy folks. Do you know how they got you, by the way? The scanners are bugged. Nestor told me. Alright. Now for my part of the deal. One of the attackers is locked up in the underground garage. Here's the key. Have a nice chat.
Now as we go down into the basement for the interrogation, we find Nestor, with a bullet lodged in his brain and a body called the Last One. Both of them taken out by the bandits here, and we're surrounded.
Well. I didn't expect Iron to bring me such an important guest. If you're willing to jump through hoops for his sake, what would the others do? So I'll ask you the question I didn't ask the first time we met. What makes you think you're gonna get out of here alive?
You know, it's definitely a bad decision to be within shooting distance of anyone, especially if you're trying to kill them. That was really stupid. Also, there's a ton of guys who have no idea what's going on and just stand there while I take out their friends. We leave and Diode's talking to us on the radio again.
Skip, come in. Diode here. The diggers told me you've gotten into some trouble with Varan. Get your ass over here. I want to see what you found.
Honestly, I don't think that was Diode. The slag heap, only a stone's throw away, is now occupied with the wardens. We'll try to see Diode, but
I figured you'd be taller.
What the fuck?
Hey!
Okay, fuck you, dude. We go upstairs to meet with Diode and... This is where we meet some of the 2 most important characters in the whole game, Korshinov and Dmitro Dalin. Go figure that these guys are also looking for my scanner. Dalin was that guy we heard on the radio in the beginning, and that PDA we found on the body is apparently a Monolith PDA. So in order to find our scanner, we need to go to this place called Wild Island, and we get to talk to Strider there.
And if you can persuade him, he just may tell you what kind of shady business they've gone and got themselves into. I'll get you a new one. Take this. It'll come in handy if someone gives you the silent treatment.
This is the show-off cutscene. Look how great our model is. All I can think about is Forrest Gump while watching this. Well, that was about 5 minutes of cutscene that I essentially skipped. Where to begin? We'll start with Richter, who's back again and just tells us to go to a sawmill. So that's where I'm headed while talking. That had everything. An AK that glitched through the table, 2 very important figureheads. Former Monolithians. It makes sense, with the Wish Granter gone. The crazed lunatics no longer do the bidding of the Monolith, so that's pretty cool. Strider was a former Monolithian from Call of Pripyat. I never did anything with him, but he was one of the people that went to Pripyat with you. Remember? Also, I want to talk about difficulty real fast, especially in the beginning, which at 7 hours in, which is still the beginning, combat is laughable. You barely take damage and you deal a lot of it. for now. The game gets really fucking hard later and you're spamming medkits. But a big annoyance for me is the bullet drop-off. When you're shot at from a distance, the bullets damage you as much as a mosquito existing. It's pitiful and you experience the same thing. The shotgun, any shotgun, is like the best weapon in the game because of the damage at short range. But from a distance, maybe not right now, it gets to a point where you're shooting someone 4, 5, 6 times in the head just to kill them. And that's on the hardest difficulty, Veteran. The others just feel so fucking easy. Stalker, the middle rank, is about half the damage you take and double the damage you deal compared to Veteran. Rookie's just stupid, don't even worry about it. So there's no happy medium. The first 15 hours are easy no matter what, and only later does the difficulty match expectation or is insanely difficult. But after a nice and long 30-minute trek of exploring and a few side quests, it's Spark again. Entering the building, we meet a man we've met before.
A good man is always on time for lunch.
Who said I'm a good man?
Richter, and the guys from the detention center. And me, Scar. You've got to use whatever's close at hand. And there are plenty of things close at hand in the zone. If you know where to look. Like a scanner.
I was told it was invented at the Institute.
Who told you that? Darlin? Nah, kiddo. All their gadgets are just revamped Project X designs. They were found in the old labs.
Project what?
The zone harbors many secrets scattered among the old bones. There were scientists here way before the Institute. Even before the zone itself came into being.
The Ward have no desire to conquer the zone. They want to extend the Institute up to its borders. Trouble is what comes to those who exploit the zone. And I have a funny feeling there's more trouble to come.
You bet. And forget all that crap Dolan was spouting about a bright future. None of this is gonna end well. For any of us.
What do you want to achieve?
Zombie!
Relax. This is the dark side of the zone. But there is another. The shining side. It's here all around us, but we cannot see it. I wonder what's out there. Eternal spring? The Klondike of artifacts? A new home? Or our hearts' desires? But most importantly, no Ward. We want the Shining Zone to reveal itself. Would you like some toast? I get it. You're angry. That's why you're not hungry. And couldn't care less about the troubles of others.
I have a plan, and I'm sticking to it.
Do I hear the Colonel speaking?
I've got a mind of my own.
Well, do as you please. But watch your head.
Oh, Scar. I'm a self-confessed hater of Clear Sky, but I really appreciate the love this man has given. He's always had a bit of a tongue-in-cheek personality in the game through written dialogue, but Scar is almost too unhinged and a bit camp, but I think the writers and the actor pull it off, just barely walking on that line. I see people saying Spark is the continuation of the Clear Sky faction. They're much more, different than that, and we'll learn more as the game goes on. But I think it's more of an offshoot of Freedom. As Clear Sky wanted to study the zone for its wonder, Spark as a faction, as you just saw, is all about ridding the zone of control, Ward, and the Institute. But I'm not ready to talk about the Institute just yet. It's full of detours right now, but going to Wild Island has one more event. We see some duty soldiers hunting something in this house. It's a cat, I think.
What is this?
It has weird monkey hands, so I don't know. This cat is one of the only mutants you can loot, and I would come to realize that it's so important that you don't miss this collar. Water is incredibly annoying. Knee-deep water will slow you down more than 100 milligrams of KB. Yeah, I don't like it. And we're getting to the point where main story missions take 20 to 30 minutes to travel to. It's a really big map. Too big, really. And the rivers make it even longer, without an easy way of crossing, making the walk a real annoyance. And I do mean a walk. That blue stamina bar is pitiful. You're usually going to be some semblance of overcumbered in the game, unless you have an artifact that increases your max carry weight. I'm very sure that the only thing that changes is how fast you walk and run. Where the stamina bar depletes with running running and jumping and stuff like that, it regenerates on its own stat, regardless of weight. I'm pretty sure it's called endurance, which also needs separate artifacts, with the first bar increasing faster than the middle bar faster than the right. It depletes fast, and you can find energy drinks and bottled water that restore your stamina, but that's it. The stamina bar does regenerate faster when you drink something, but only for about 10 seconds. So if you want to run more than a few feet in front of you, you're chugging energy drinks the whole time. Oh, we're here. Wild Island has landmines covering the entrance, and you need to use bolts to explode them, instead of making a ticking sound. Well done. Now let's meet these ex-Monolithians. We don't get to see many. The emissions always seem to come at the wrong times, so the whole area here is tinted red, and we trudge through dangerous anomalies to grab a scanner that was set up here for some reason. Strider, you have some splaining to do.
A scanner. If you activate it with no artifact present, this is what happens. My attackers had a PDA like this one. Looks like some of your men are involved in this.
This is indeed a piece of Monolith technology, and I'll help you solve this puzzle. But first, you need to understand one thing. Noon is not Monolith. Those who wandered too close to the secrets hidden at the center of the zone ended up brainwashed, stripped of their identity and will. This is how Monolith recruited its fighters. That control is gone now. But our memories never returned. There used to be a database that tracked every Monolithian PDA out there. Hopefully, we can take advantage of what's left of it. Talk to Professor Lodishka. He'll know what to do.
Well, okay, Noontider. You know, no one ever wants to just help you. It's always do something for me, and I'll do something for you. This Professor Lodishka sent me to a location to find an inductor. That's where we find these two Noontiders, who were controlled by a controller, and now we have to take a controller out. It's the chemical plant from Call of Pripyat as well. I never went there because it was too hard, but now I get to do it in HD.
Man, I'm so good at this game. No, don't get up. Whoa, wait, easy now, Tiger. Fuck. You're still getting up? Fuck. Die. Hello? I guess I shot you too fast, huh, bud? My gun's clicking. Now I've had his fair share of bugs, eh?
So doing that was kind of fun. In the tunnels underground is one of those monolith antennae.
Interesting.
With lit candles on the ground, so this was definitely recent. Anyways, there's a controller down here. It's wild because now side levels make enemies spawn in and shoot you. It's all make-believe and the pain's not real. Inductor found for Lodishka. We reach the surface and bandits are going to kill us, because why not? This little sequence here can showcase everything that is wrong with Stalker 2. Number 1, these dialogue options that end with getting shot at instantly without cover.
I don't get to choose.
2, leaning. It's hard to show off, but essentially Skiff will lean anytime he aims at any form of cover. Right here is so annoying because you're trying to aim at his head and his lean is moving the mouse away from it. It's insanely frustrating. 3, I said it before, but quick access doesn't work because I thought I healed and then I died.
Okay, well, I'm dead.
4, as soon as I loaded back in, it's nothing but lag. And the motherfucker just walks right in front of me to get shot. Moments like these are Stalker 2 at its worst. And every now and then, you're just getting pissed off at it. But here's an olive branch. We walk back to Noontide for about 10 minutes, and...
He's dead, they say. Destroyed. Lies, I tell you. They're all filthy, pathetic lies. You can't kill God, just like you can't get rid of the sky up above.
Stop brainwashing my men, Faust. You're only making it worse.
What could be worse than this? What have we become? Are you happy, Strider?
My boots are fine for the road I walk. There are more important things than happiness.
And what's that then? Backbreaking work? Hardship? That enduring sense of guilt. It didn't used to be like this. We were different. Part of something much greater. I was the Word, and you carried the banner of the Monolith.
We brought death. But against our will.
Well, now we're dying ourselves. And what will they find here? The meaning of life? Or a similar bunch of miserable wretches just like them who don't know what they want?
Strider saved us!
Yeah.
And now he's killing us. Once we were his children. And what are we now?
Men of free will, who choose their own way. You're living in the past, Faust. The Monolith is dead. It's time to grow up.
You can't kill God. Just like you can't get rid of the sky up above.
Think again.
I am blind, but it is you who cannot see. Go cower in your hole in the ground. Hide from the past. Hide from his light. Hide from yourself.
I tell you what, these cutscenes, even with the editing I'm doing, are fucking long, and you're getting a movie, dude. Faust even just walked out into that mission. So, Strider gave me a sniper rifle, and it's to a place called the Azimuth. Essentially, the tower is going to help us hack into the Monolith PDA, I guess. It's pretty wild because all of the ward that were stationed here are all dead. But what do they say? All wardens are bastards. It's into the disgusting basement we go and we find the ward's killers. Noontide soldiers who are aggressive towards us as well. On a ward body is a key card to get into the Azimuth Tower, and climbing out of the testing area we're shot at.
Oh, okay. Fuck!
Only once though. Maybe it's just me, but he shot at me once, and my return shot was way more deadly. Using the key card and climbing up the ladder, motherfucker's still alive.
What did you just say?
You think I'm going to beg for mercy? It doesn't matter. You stalkers don't understand anything. The Monolith opened my eyes.
Monolith is gone.
I'm not afraid. Not afraid to die for its glory.
For whatever reason, this man still follows the voice of the Monolith. But more importantly, fuck you, Redditors. His eyes are white. Being part of Monolith does make your eyes white. Fuck you. Faust also had white eyes. Anyways, induct her into the tower, and using said tower lets us hear the message on our PDA.
I did what you said. Return to Icarus. Get everything ready. It is time. Yes. Word of the Monolith. So it was you all along. Oh, Faust.
I need to get to Icarus. And the sooner the better. Faust had a reason to leave the island just now.
Skip, if you find him, try to find out what he's up to. He's my brother. In the end, all his sins are also mine.
Well, who would have guessed that the guy that they introduced 2 minutes ago would be a villain? Who would have guessed? Y'all want to see Sabotage? I walked right past it, so I figured we weren't ever going to Rookie Village, so I took the initiative.
I am a respected man. Every single dog around these parts knows my name.
Sadly, it's not that interesting. It's just a few side quests that are probably not worth your time. Want to help a stalker tell a joke?
A stalker walks into a bar, and the bartender asks him, why do bandits from garbage always reek of stale booze?
The bartender goes, 'cause imagine pouring one out for every one of their dead kingpins.
Truly, the peak of modern gaming. It's nice to see another view of the giant concrete wall surrounding the zone. Another good reference from the book. Though doing the small quest line here for a psi emitter does crash my game. I can't seem to leave the tunnel here, which is cool, but you can't get a Seva suit, so it's a nice upgrade. The only other reason for me is to get an achievement where you make an even trade with the dude. It's a bit of a waste of time, honestly. So, Icarus, right? One of the laggy strongholds. Someone here is a Monolith snitch, and it's our job to figure out who. We go into a bunker under here and find a psi beacon. That's Monolith technology. Or so says the Dr. Kravenko. The snitch is Lieutenant Shtarev, who's not here. No, he's at Echo Station, which is in Call of Pripyat's very own Zaton, where the Skadovsk is here, but it's been renamed the Sultansk. That's really hard to say. but we're here for Echo Station. You can hear the lieutenant talking through the door.
Happiness requires sacrifice. We're almost there. I just need to turn it on. I had to do it. He's right.
Lieutenant, wake up. I've got something that'll help you come to your senses.
I don't want to wake up Stalker. I want to go to him. I want to be happy again. I'm almost done, Stalker. I'm sorry, but I can't leave any witnesses.
So the whole point of this resurgence in Monolith activity is to turn on the Wish Granter again, but I still don't get it, it's gone. Once Echo Station is activated, you can have a conversation with Faust, who talks about Clear Sky.
On a ship bound for nowhere is a guide who's trying to stay afloat. He will show you the way to Clear Sky. Once you get there, you'll never be alone again. Come to me.
Now, Clear Sky has been gone since Clear Sky the game. Of course, Richter is back because he's always here. He can't lead us to Clear Sky, but knows of a man who can. Nimble. Nimble's been around forever. If you can even remember at this point, we saved him at the start of Shadow of Chernobyl. In Clear Sky, he kinda just sat on a chair. And in Call of Pripyat, he got you items on the Skadosk. Now, in Heart of Chernobyl, he's in a snork cave.
I don't know who you are, Stalker, but you best run. Shit. Fuck. That was a little too close. I thought it was game over for sure.
Clear. Skybase.
You good now, bro? That's what I thought. Fucking snorks, man. You were asking about Clear Sky. What do you want to know?
The night back at the old bridge, you stole my scanner and gave me a hell of a headache.
That's horseshit, man. I ain't been back at the old bridge in a long time. It was all about man. Shit. I'm just a guide. I was only showing the way, alright?
Yeah? To Monolithians.
It was a run-of-the-mill job where the customer's kind of shady, all obsessed with a monolith and shit. But I'm not in the business of killing stalkers.
But you are in the business with Faust. Stop pretending and get up.
Nimble isn't really gonna guide us, but we get a map of the area. 4 different side beacons in the swamps. We have to take them all out before we can handle Clear Sky. Also, did you know this is the same cave and plateau where Stingray 3 crashed? And did you know that the crash site was just above the swamps? To think we finally made it to the place I complained about in the beginning. So there are 4 side beacons that we need to shut down. And they are emitters, so every time you reach one, you get all the side effects and fake soldiers spawn, etc. If you are so unlucky to find a pseudo dog running after you, bolt. As now the dogs can create a few dozen dogs to chase after you. Now, usually I would go through each emitter and say, look at the swamps and how much it changed, but I genuinely just ran through this as fast as possible because I was running out of ammo on every gun. I used a good 800 rounds by the time I turned off all the beacons. Apparently, I outran a chimera. I never even saw it, and I was caught in a mission. Most of the little shacks in the swamps won't provide cover for the emissions, so you will have to find better structures nowadays. Sadly, the whole Clear Sky base isn't too much to talk about. Nimble was the one who actually saved Scar way back when, and Nimble was also tasked with killing Fang and Ghost. Of course, the whole reason we're here is because of Faust, so let's not keep him waiting.
Find with a start around his neck. Throw it off a cliff. Operation Monolith. Hanged. Torn apart by dogs. Killed. Missing. Pripyat. Killed. Dead. Wild Island. Missing. Alive. No information. Shot by loners. Died in an anomaly. Found with a stone around his neck. Thrown off a cliff. Torn apart by dogs. Operation Monolith. Hanged. Alive but lost. Wait just a second, Skiff. And the scanner is yours. I need to say my goodbyes. Farewell to our great past. Enemies, yes, but united by faith in one idea. For your kind, it was the Wish Granter. For us, the Monolith. The Monolith has abandoned us to make us understand being alive does not mean to be happy. Nothing else matters.
And that's that. It looked like Strider's green head was floating in the background. I don't appreciate Faust's ability to just teleport around, but we got our scanner and the artifact inside. Now, usually that would mean we're done, right? 13 hours in, game over, bad ending complete? No, we're going to SIRCAA. I mean, if it wasn't for the Spark Boys contacting us at first.
Skiff, come in. If you're heading to SIRCAA, stop by the ranger station. We need to talk to you.
We?
Scar and I. We have news. It's very important.
And we're here.
You know what makes a stalker a stalker? Curiosity. I told you he'd come. I found out that the Ward moved the Wish Granter from the CNPP to SIRCAA.
The Monolith.
That toy is way too dangerous, even for Dahlan.
The Wish Granter, or Monolith, drove people insane. Those who survived the ordeal were brainwashed and became Monolithians. The scanner is your chance to get into SIRCAA. Then, you'll be able to find out if that damn machine is really there. I'll get my squad together and head for the Institute. We need your help, Skiff. Noontide... No. The entire zone is in danger.
With Faust wanting to find the Monolith and everyone seemingly knowing where it is, we gotta do some sabotage. But finally, I can talk about the book again. You see, at the end of Call of Pripyat, Shreylock works with the Ukrainian government to set up the Institute. That's what SIRCAA is, and at least the area we're headed to is the Institute. In the book, there are all types of sci-fi with floating hovercrafts, and in later chapters have robots that go into the zone instead, doing tests on different artifacts because they can survive outside of the zone. In the games, they cannot, except for our little rock. With the Institute being the scientific extension of the Ward, for the first time, we get to see the beautiful side of the zone, even if it's ran by intellectual predecessors of the sea consciousness. It's a long journey, and the entire area is walled off. It's weird. Spending all this time in the zone makes a totally normal research facility seem alien by comparison. Dahlan sure as hell seems excited to see us.
Is that him? Give it to me.
Now, Dahlan's gonna have his little fun with our scanner, but in the meantime, it's late, so we get to go into his suite to have a little bit of rest. And we can also explore the Institute a little. Now, this is interesting. I can't read any of this because I don't read ceramic. Yeah, there's nothing but eggheads here. Probably a few Reddit mods and people getting paid 6 figures while working 2 hours a day. Dahlan's suite is all the way at the top of the facility, and it just so happens an emission is happening right now. Here at SIRCAA, we pride ourselves on our emission-proof glass, allowing you to gaze without catching rays. Our kitchens are stocked full of sausage, or stop by the gift shop to cop a desk lamp. A Monolith desk lamp. There's so much to see at SIRCAA, so catch up on your sleep and let's explore it some more tomorrow. It's never easy or straightforward in this game. You can talk to Dahlan, who wants to control the power of emissions or some shit. Oh yeah, the testing room is on lockdown because of an anomaly. At the Institute, they can make synthetic anomalies, but right now they can't turn it off. So we do that. Get attacked by rats, die to a bunch of rats. A burr is just sort of here, what the fuck? Once upon a time, when the game first came out, they could rip the gun out of your hands and it would despawn forever. Yeah, a bit of an oversight, but for some reason we need to go through test rooms to find the anomaly. First is an obstacle room filled with death. Next is a puzzle room filled with death. The final one is a room full of stink. That's all. Test completes and we enter into the spatial portal to find a secret lab.
You made it here too. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised given what you went through to bring my scanner back to SIRCAA.
You have to sneak past some anomalies, but fuck that. Skip. Yeah, hi Herman. Herman wants to take credit for finding the artifact, and apparently the reason we have it is because Dahlan recreated the Caribbean experiment. Oh shit, remember the Caribbean experiment? Yeah, that was the first contact made with the noosphere in 2006 or whatever. Yeah, that's all Dahlan.
My home was destroyed because of Dahlan's experiment?
Fucking Dahlan.
And you knew about it the whole time?
But that doesn't matter anymore, and I'm running out of time. I've reconfigured the bubble. It'll take you back to SIRCAA. Then you can tell Dahlan what you think about the price he paid for progress.
Anyways, he fixes the portal. It sends us all across the zone because I guess it's faulty.
Okay. No. Okay. And then it lags.
The man I saw, I'm all but certain it was Gordon Freeman.
Every time it just lags and there's no sound.
Whoa. Now it's back to Dahlan in his laboratory.
Any of my men will do.
Not quiet. We need someone who's already had a particular kind of experience in the zone. Basically, we need a Stalker. Alpha. Quarter of century ago. Maybe even longer. The artifact that started it all.
It's still going strong. And not just in the zone.
You stalkers with your tall tales. You need to lay up the booze.
The second Caribbean experiment, you asshole! Tall tales, huh? Look at me! I lost everything back on the mainland. And you tell me to lay off the booze?
To the victor go the spoils. This experiment is not going to conduct itself. Stand down.
We had a simple choice. Sit back and just wait for another super emission, or take a chance at getting control of the anomalous energy. And look, our gamble paid off. As for your home, you can blame the zone, not me.
Cool it, soldier. The second Caribbean experiment didn't go as planned. During the experiment, the group was attacked by SCAR's saboteurs. They're local stalkers, a thorn in my side. And since they achieved what they set out to back then, you can be sure they'll keep trying to get in our way. You're blaming the wrong people, Skiff.
Let's hope that this time, security will be your top priority.
I'm sorry, this is very surreal for me. We're already seeing the Monolith, and we're not even halfway through the game. And for the first time, the Monolith speaks in English.
What you want is here, Stalker. Come.
What's interesting are these two phantoms kneeling before it. Interacting with one, we see the Monolith through Strelok's eyes. One of the many bad endings for the game, entirely recreated.
I want the zone to disappear.
Oh my god, it's no longer a hologram, it's real.
The other phantom shows the controlled humanity ending. Seizure warning again.
Humanity is corrupt. Mankind must be controlled.
The Monolith then shows a third phantom, our wish. I want this all to end.
What?
And we're surrounded.
Shit!
In the heart of the Institute, Ward soldiers fire on us from every single direction.
Oh my fucking god!
You have to escape. At least survive.
Oh, come on.
But you can't.
What did you see? What happened in the Monolith room?
It didn't seem like an illusion to me. It felt too damn real.
The Monolith showed you someone else's memory. I never expected that. Who knew those tall tales had a basis in reality?
Are you sure it's safe connecting the artifact to the generators?
When we connect to the generators, the zone will be eliminated. And the anomalous energy will finally start serving the needs of mankind.
Yes?
I'm waiting for the Stalker, Colonel.
Got it. He'll be there. Go to the projection room, Skiff. She's waiting for you.
And for the record, they remade all of the endings, but I only showed the 2. As if it couldn't get any weirder, we're guided to Agata's room?
Skiff! Thank God you're here. If only Darlin had listened to me, I wouldn't have to cheat. You know that's true. Tell her. I'm begging you.
Your friend is a strange kind of scientist, Skiff. He loves secrets more than discoveries.
He's no friend of mine.
Skiff!
That makes sense. People need more than just a couple of days to really become friends. You need to trust one another, share your secrets. Like the fact that someone stole the scanners from SIRCAA just because he was so envious of Dr. Dolly. And guided by his co-conspirator Faust, he insisted on murdering every last witness, including you, of course.
I can explain everything!
There's no need to repeat yourself, Professor. This man almost got you killed. So it's up to you to decide his fate.
Skip!
Fair enough. Yevhen Martinenko, 25 years old. No real friends, no family, just lonely evenings in front of the TV. A while ago, he came home to find his place in ruins. You've been through a lot, Yevhen. Cigarette? After the fire at Bill's apartments, everyone rushed to seek help from officials. But not you, Yevhen. In your search for the truth, you had the courage to enter the zone. The zone is extremely dangerous to the outside world. But thanks to you, we will soon have its power under control. And in the meantime, you can return to the mainland and move into a beautiful new house.
Sounds great.
You deserve it.
But I want to be there for the experiment. Bread was promised. Now it's time for circuses.
Dr. Darlin speaks highly of you, but the experiment requires top-level security. Although, perhaps you could help us in this matter. Someone's planning to stop us, right? Stop us getting what we deserve.
I can't help you. Sorry.
Skiff, come in. Are you there yet? See if you can get to the labs and find out about the Monolith.
Someone's taking advantage of you again, Yevhen.
Yeah. And you aren't?
Strider has nothing to offer you in return, unlike us. Find him. Ask him to lay down his arms. No war because should begin with bloodshed.
Turns out Strider and the Noontiders are already inside SIRCAA. For whatever reason, we're allowed to talk to them before we stop them. You can, but I'm not going to. So at this point, we've made irreparable enemies with the Ward, and we have like 2 minutes to stop the experiment.
Where the hell have you been? Help me out with these, will ya? One on each hinge should do the trick.
Performing visual analysis. No exit.
Alright, let's go!
Router ready. Block 5. Waveguide ready.
Back it up.
Scala.
Gateway open. X11. Awaiting connection.
What the fuck? You alright? Let's go!
Scala here. Request proceed main.
Out the fucking way!
Connection established.
Step back!
It's done.
You motherfucker!
What about the Stalker? Visitor!
We barely made it out alive. Our artifact, stolen. God, Strider. In that moment, he feared the Monolith worse than death. Well, over here, a flash drive is stored away with all the data of the experiments on it. Now we have to escape the Institute. Right now, everyone's our enemy. Anomalies litter the Institute. Lastly, we steal the hard drive and escape through the underground tunnels, only to find Richter, and only Richter.
Skiff. Oh, I'm glad to see you, buddy. Let's get out of here. Hey, would you look at that?
Мій рідний край, чарівний край, черемоша і прута. Ти моя любов, ти рідна матінко моя.
It's alive! The zone is alive! It survived, Skiff! It survived!
You're fucking crazy! I almost died at that fucking institute.
Where is Strider?
Now you ask.
What happened over there, Skiff? Where is Strider?
He's...
Why are they shooting at us? Why are you shooting at us? We're with Strider!
Dad?
can't get rid of the sky up above.
What?
They say the sun's always shining in Pripyat.
Bullshit. That means Strider and Dubny and they're all gone? Right. I guess the zone didn't protect them after all. How come, Skiff? Incoming from Wide Island. Maybe not all of them got hit by the monolith thingy, right?
Mister, it's Lodochka. The island. It's a disaster. Noontide. Mister, they've all turned into monolithians again.
Fuck.
Someone's here. Richter, I need your help. Can you hear me? Help!
That all was a lot to take in. I mean, fuck, that was about 6 cutscenes. Don't want to put that on TikTok. That's way too much for the modern attention span. Not to mention the walk. It gets really bad from this point. And I know I talked about it already, but this giant ass map means sometimes you're just walking. Right now, I'm skipping about 40 minutes. Yeah, that's right. Well, 37 minutes, but you know. In certain cases like this, I really wish there was a fast travel or something, because the guides only take you to very specific areas. Or do something with the stamina bar. I don't know, just do something about this, please. Will reach Lodochka, but it turns out mercs have him in captivity. So here's one of the very few times in the game I stealthed. The cool thing is, if you use your knife for a backstab, you can get a one-shot stealth kill that way. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it duplicates people.
What the fuck?
It really depends.
He turned it. Whoa.
But since you have a suppressed pistol from very early on, the only reason you're doing this is for the achievement. Lodochka advises us to stop some signal in noontide. Maybe that would calm the soldiers of the Monolith. Which is weird because the Monolith isn't a thing. It's supposed to do the will of sea consciousness, but they're dead. Also, how did we see different wishes of Strelok when he supposedly killed sea consciousness? Too many questions, not enough answers.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, you know what? This makes way more sense. The giant monolith antenna? Yeah, that probably made shit worse, huh? Come to think of it, didn't we see a couple of these? Weird. So this antenna has some kind of emitter. We take it to Lodochka, but it turns out there's another emitter at the sphere. Faust. Remember Faust? Well, he wants to steal something from the sphere, most likely that other emitter, and that's our next target. Fighting monolithians all over again. We even meet Solder again, and he gives us a key to a stash to the base. It's really not that important, honestly. At the top of the sphere is another emitter that is not activated yet. Cool. And we're back to the one and only Rostok. Evidently, the duty-controlled factory has been taken over and repurposed as the new Freedom base. I don't think Freedom's treating this area with the respect it deserves. It seems more run down than ever, though there are many traders here to buy your stuff. Ragman is the one you want. As long as the durability isn't 0, Ragman will buy any weapon you bring back to Rostok, which is different from all the other traders in the game. So, if like me, you're having a lot of trouble making money in this game and you're not using Cheat Engine like everyone making a video on this, definitely check him out. To the wild territory now, but we get a little message on the radio.
To all stalkers, this is the end of Silesia. Do not come here. The only thing you'll find here is death. I repeat, Silesia is gone.
Now I get to talk about Silesia. Hopefully this is fixed by the time the video comes out, but a long time ago, Silesia was attacked by Monolith. We heard so on the radio.
This is the Gaffer. Monolith is at Silesia.
Right now, when you go to Silesia, everyone is crowded in the town hall. Both Monolith and Gaffer and people like that. It's bugged. Go figure. This game is as bug-free as Indian street food. You can get this to work, but you have to lead enemies into town to trigger fighting and whatnot, and I can't be bothered, so I left it. Well, that was an hour ago because you passed Silesia on your way over here. If you decide to venture there again, you'll see all the shops and buildings are ransacked and looted. All that's left is a chest to store your stuff in and a bed. Oh, and people dead on the ground, but whatever, man. This was not my fault. You seemed quite alright sitting in your chair. But in a factory in the wild territory is Scar with all his Spark allies. We give him our emitter. Actually, we don't give him the emitter. We kind of break it. We're pissed that so many people died and Strider becomes Monolith or whatever. And Scar gives us a little story about how Spark came into being.
A long time ago, I woke up in the scientist's mobile lab at Yonam Station. They were good men. They fed me and took care of me, all while huddled together in a cramped little iron box. I wanted to help them, to find them a better place to live. During one of my trips, I stumbled upon a chemical plant. Yes, sure, another brick monstrosity, but back then, it was like an oasis to me. So those good men moved there. It was the first spark group, until one day, bam, 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 Topol, he was the first to die. Mace tried to warn us. Over here! But all he could do was wheeze. Spirit and I tried to escape through the workshop, and then the second assault squad burst in. Boom! But Snake had a grenade ready for them. Thieves rule and wardens rule. Boom! And now tell me, who holds the chemical plant now?
The ward.
Yes, the ward.
Yeah, Scar deserves a little bit of his own cutscene. He's quite interesting. But we're getting a new emitter anyways. A control emitter given by this guy.
There's an abandoned complex beneath the bromine factory. Inside, you'll find the device the emitter is meant to be used with. Your job is to hook the emitter up to the device. Then get the heck out of there. Comms might get wonky, but we'll know when the job's done, rest assured.
Not gonna lie, it's a little confusing why we need to use this control emitter, so don't think about it. You know how everyone loves Half-Life 1 and inspired a generation of video game talent? Well, here in the Wild Territory, you find the crowbar of one such Gordon Freeman. It's in shadow of Chernobyl as well, with the body of a stalker named Freeman. And it turns out no one desecrates the body of the living legend. So 30 minutes later, I arrived at the installation. It's probably fine that the entire area is blown up, doors are blown off their hinges, definitely fine. Thankfully, you can find recordings to let us know what transpired at the CMD complex.
Arrived at the Promin facility to locate and eliminate any potential records related to Project X and the team. I immediately discovered an archived audio recording of Dr. Orlov's initial successful test. It was a sheer stroke of luck that this data didn't fall into unauthorized hands, given that it was essentially in plain sight. Efforts are underway to uncover any other Project X materials, including those pertaining to the modification of the Duga into a Psi installation. Located and secured fragmentary data related to the experiment to map the noosphere, including the location and interconnections of its synapses. The facility is in a state of advanced disrepair, with many documents lost to natural decay. Damn it, much of the equipment is literally falling apart in my hands. The scant information I've managed to salvage will be documented only in these reports. Ouch! Hurts! Where the hell did this desk come from? Fuck! Am I lost or something? I've located evidence of the facility's modification to ensure remote control of the Duga from that damned Malachite. These rooms aren't even on my map, and the Ministry of Defense and Secret Technologies called it a comprehensive briefing. Fuck, it's a combination lock. How am I supposed to know if there's anything related to sea consciousness in there? Just great. Now I need to figure out the code. What the hell was Dr. Orlov thinking?
Well, the code is 1976, just to let you know. I still don't understand why we're doing this, but it doesn't matter. Sea consciousness and all can wait, as the ward is right at my doorstep. So don't be like me. I'm still rocking guns that I got at the start of the game, and these ward soldiers are using new Fora 221s and Dnipros. They still use the same rounds as the other guns, but also do more damage, because that's how that works. The Duga is not far, and you can see it right as you leave the CMD. This is Chernobyl 2. Or even Le Mans, but it's called the Duga after the radar system. Once upon a time, this installation would serve as a warning network for missile defense. Now it's a stronghold for the Monolithians. We'll meet up with Scar in some tunnels just below the city and try to take out Faust while he's here. And he is here. Look, he's just standing there, not doing anything. You just chilling? You're just gonna stand there. Wanna say anything? You wanna look at me? Do I win if I kill you? I'm gonna kill you.
The Monolith's leader
just killed him.
Whoever you killed, it wasn't him. Move out, now!
Oh, my mistake. That wasn't Faust. It was his brother, Mouse. No, Faust is right outside, actually. You gotta kill him again. Except now he has some kind of power. He escapes, and the Duga emits some kind of EMP, taking out a military helicopter. We did not win this day, but only took out some Monolith and some Ward. But if what we just experienced with Faust is real, then Monolith is even more of a danger than we realize. That's why our journey leads us to STC Malachite, an installation. Friendly enough to Spark. Scar mentions a Professor Ozerski who's going to help us with our next assignment.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Professor Ozerski, the director of STC Malachite.
A Monolithian called Faust conjured doubles of himself during a fight. I want to know how this is possible.
The doubles you witnessed are induced illusions caused by Psi influence within the Tau range. This Faust fellow appears to be employing older Psi consciousness technology. I'm not entirely sure we still have any books with enough information here at the center. The SIRCAA archives would come in handy here.
I got them after the signal. They're saved on this flash drive.
However, analyzing these archives will require a considerable amount of time.
In order to figure out what's going on with Faust, we journey to a mirror facility, used to study Psi illusions. The ruins even have a trace of what they were studying here. Well, you can find the mirror eventually, whatever it is. You could try to press the cool button, but get a warning. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but the Chimeras are the most evil mutants you can face. At least the most damage-inducing, and a little scary.
Oh, Jesus!
But you could just close the door on it.
Why?
Which is very handy, because they don't die. Well, the railway is clear, so we can activate this mirror. Ozerski gives us a little call to tell us that the Controller Project was responsible for the creation of Phantoms. Now, there are scientists in the zone that worked on this Controller Project. We don't know where they are, but someone we know does. And we need to find Richter. Of course we do. This man's more important to the zone than Straylock. Actually, he even mentions that Straylock is back in the zone since the Monolith returned. Like any of your favorite YouTubers, he's not going to accept your random friend request. Besides, I mentioned a caller like 30 minutes ago. It's finally time to use that caller I collected 30 minutes ago. Well, more like 15 hours, but who's counting? We gotta walk a ways away anyways. This will probably be fixed by the time the video is out, but did you know you randomly get weapons in this game? I have no idea how this bug even happens.
The fuck? I just got a random sniper.
Because I never looted or even seen a sniper, but there it is in my inventory.
What?
It's great, by the way. I'm sure it's all not complaining. It's the only gun in the game that one-shots people in the head. But, you know, randomly guns spawn in your inventory. So we make it to Duvpalov's base in the middle of nowhere. An old ex-project scientist. I can't wait to drink with you, brother. This is great. It's like Christmas. I love getting drunk most of the time. Anxiety, hangovers, and all.
Here's to the start of our partnership. Okay.
How do you destroy phantoms and defeat someone who can create induced illusions?
If you're really so eager, drag your ass to X5. That's where the whole three-ring circus used to be. Try to find the blueprint for the suppressor. It's out to help you. I'll give you the key card for the lab.
Well, that was easy. It just goes to show if you want something from someone, get them drunk. Thankfully, this time we needed to go to the Agroprom. So, unlike before, where we got trapped for exploring this area, it now works. Almost as if this game only functions when you're doing quests. There's also another scientist here. His name is Sherba, and he actually has a keycard to X5. We make an agreement to give him all the research we find, and we get to explore the lab. He runs off to Mr. Drunk, and we get going. It shouldn't be any surprise that this area was part of a lab. When we played Scar, we flooded what I thought was the lab, but it turns out it wasn't. Going down here is like routine for me, and I was assuming there would be a bloodsucker down here, but no, just some zombies. Now we get to see what's so special about this controller project.
Whoa! Jesus Christ. Calm the fuck down. Oh my god.
We start by exploring the lower levels. Most of the lab is run down and rooms are caved in. One such intact room seemed to belong to a child. There's a recording from Vupalov.
You're having trouble sleeping too, I see. Let's get started early today. We're going to explore how your brain responds to metaphors and imagery. Empathy and abstract thinking. Those are the traits that separate us from simple beasts. And there, what separates you from the other mutants? I rummaged through my library and came across something that suits our circumstances perfectly. I hope you won't mind a little poetry. Not backwards, forwards is the spirit side. This moment now alone is our delight.
Well, you eventually turn on the power and all hell breaks loose, but you still find more recordings.
God, dude, this place is so fucked up.
Now we know that poltergeists were experiments of the X projects, but also the controllers. Everyone we've seen seemingly came from this lab, maybe even all the mutants. But the reason we're here is to find blueprints to make a suppressor for the psi activity. We find it, and also the last recording in the complex.
Have you seen the reports? That is a work of art. It's a shame Vupalov won't get to appreciate it. He hasn't ceased to amaze us since he was connected to the Monolith network.
Faust. The only mutant to survive the controller project. The perfect controller. I mean, he uses the same animation as the controller, so you should have guessed that. You can hear shooting in the corridors we came from. I think it's best we leave. Not before checking Strelok's stash, of course. There's a PDA with a new audio recording from the man himself.
Fuck. I can't let history repeat itself. Today is March 3rd, 2017. You're Strelok. You used to work at SIRCAA, but you quit and tried to sabotage X-11. You failed. Escape to the mainland. Go into hiding. Then come back and make sure those bastards can't complete Project X.
Too much lore, not enough time. Strelok may not even be himself anymore, and maybe even had his memory wiped again when he decided to work for the Institute. It's back to Vupalov to turn the suppressor blueprint into a suppressor blueprint, then to Rostog to get it installed on my suit. Now you have to walk 30 minutes over to the Duga. Spoilers from a 40-year-old book, but the mission name is Happiness for Everyone, a reference to Redrick's wish at the end of the book. Happiness, free, for everyone, and let no one be forgotten. This is the next difficulty spike of Stalker 2. At this point, Veteran goes from too easy to annoying. I don't know how this works. I'm going to assume that if you stand outside for too long, you get headshot. That's my best guess. It's kind of pathetic I can't get over this brown fence. My race was born to do cross-country, so the fact that Skiff can't make it over is some poor effort. Scar is busy doing who knows what, but his right-hand man, Elio from World War II, says go to a radio room. So you go underground to reach the radio room. It's just a little filler, if you ask me. Want to see some rats explode? Hell yeah. So I guess the point is you're turning off the grid or something. Maybe even turning it on. I'm not entirely sure. Here's a tip. If you're going through areas like this, make sure to find and kill every person in the vicinity. Because sometimes you won't be able to save in combat and you'll have to repeat 20 minutes of combat. Almost there. You open one door to see Faust. Hey, Faust.
Snagged a Gauss gun! Everyone, get ready! Moving on to the last phase of the plan!
And here's the plan. To lag the fuck out of my game. I mean, to blow up the original Duga array. It's time to fight Faust and his phantoms at 24 frames a second. Honestly, this annoyed the fuck out of me. The game lagging like crazy, Faust spawning behind me, all my guns jamming because they all got broken just trying to get here, and then I wasn't able to save like I said. Oh yeah, and the game crashed. So I had to retry the entire area all over. This time I figured some things out. If you don't want to be spammed with Faust, you gotta take out these emitters. And if you want to kill the real Faust, you don't go for him, but the little lantern on his belt that slowly changes color. And eventually... Whoa, jeez. I'll go ahead and accept his help and... Oh! Oh, you motherfucker! How Having that option is really funny. It's just there as a fuck you. However, it's more fucked because I guess that option permanently cripples you because I load a save and I can't move.
Oh no. I can't move. No, I think my game's fucked.
I can only move up or down. So a quick restarting the game, and this time I won't accept his help, because I'm a lone wolf anyways.
The fight is over. A mortal dies, yet the soul endures. Welcome to the subtle world. Take a seat, Skiff. We have a lot to talk about. What time of day would you choose for an intimate conversation?
I've always liked dawn. What a fascinating show.
Much of the zone is not what it seems.
What the hell did you unleash upon us?
You know more than I do. Envoy of the Monolith.
What?
You stood by his side, carrying out his will, and now you've come for me. I have angered him. And that is why you are here, seeking revenge and a reward.
I don't get it. I just want to reclaim what I've lost.
That makes two of us.
Is that so?
Some come to the zone to make money. Others come looking for miracles. Many just want to find happiness. You know? A way to feel real and alive again. But have you ever met anyone who was truly happy? And what do they look for if the miracles don't satisfy them? The Monolith brought joy to a chosen few. But I've decided that all stalkers in the zone deserve better.
How generous of you.
I've been here before. Once. A long time ago. When I was a stalker. Looking for an adventure. I took just one awkward step. And my whole world plunged into darkness. But in the end, it was I who gained true sight, while the others kept stumbling around in the dark, searching for invisible wonders. The Monolith showed me the zone for what it truly is.
Is this the real zone?
Define reality. The zone is what you consider it to be. I've shown you how I see it. Walk your own path, and you will come to perceive the zone in your own way. Such is the will of the Monolith.
Wait, I killed him?
Somehow, Faust is dead, and it turns out Star is as well. I don't really care. But that little Faust pendant, the voice of the Monolith, is our prize, and we'll take it to the Malachite base. Underground in a secret laboratory is X-17. We'll use Faust's pendant to turn on this machine.
Greetings, Skiff. I know you have a lot of questions for me. Ask them, and then we'll decide what to do with you.
And what do you know? It's the head of the representative. Yeah, wait, what? Strelok killed these guys like 20 years ago. I know it might be hard to believe, but all of their consciousnesses are stuck into the noosphere. They call this subtle matter. These guys want to create the shining zone so that all of humanity can live forever. What a glorious idea. On top of that, everybody will communicate with chips in their brains, through the noosphere.
So this is what the Shining Zone really is?
It will grant us eternal life. No pain, no regret, no suffering.
How can we make this new age come sooner?
Scar, the word is at the gates. It's just a matter of time before they break through.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I don't trust Scar. Evil scientist, giant head. See, consciousness is still a thing. Yeah, no, I don't want to side with that. And the ward's here? This is a very long and eventful fight. What I mean is, you gotta kill a lot of Ward, and we'll see Scar one final time before we flee.
There's no denying I was right now, is there? We'll find another way to contact the representative. We'll need to locate the X Network Center, where all the Visiographs are linked. The problem is, we don't know where it is or how to get there. It's time to go legend hunting, Skiff. We need Strelok. If anyone knows about that center, it's him.
Dun, dun, dun! Strelok? Strelok! Have you seen Strelok? I can't find Strelok. He's a man of many mysteries, that's for sure. Oh, wow. Would you look at that? Yeah, I would definitely do that. Y'all know about the Red Forest, right? Radioactive materials that made an entire forest red? It's kind of clearing up nowadays. Strelok ain't gonna be found no matter how vigilant we are. But, just maybe, we can find the Doctor. Remember that guy? Well, it's the best lead we have. Turns out mercs are looking for him too. And they're dropping like flies whenever they get close to him. That's our wild goose chase. Find the bodies of those looking for the Doctor and hopefully follow a trail to him. One such homestead is littered with the dead, and only one man seemed to survive. And he's even seen the Doctor.
Oh shit, you're alive.
We were sent here to track down the Doctor. I told Wolfound not to take the job. We don't even know the client.
Alpha team, we've tracked him down to the cemetery. We need backup ASAP. I repeat, everyone, get your asses over here.
He's about to off them all. You gotta help him, Stalker. He's gonna wipe them all out.
Well, we can't let the mercs know I'm coming. Nothing personal, dude. Not like it mattered anyways. When we arrive at the cemetery, mercs shoot at us. It's a painful fight, but Wolf Blood's PDA has the coordinates to the house of the Doctor. Whoa, talk about anomalous. How the hell are you so hard to find with a house like this? How the hell? Oh, hey, it's Strider. He's still doing his iconic pivot move.
He didn't kill them by choice. The Monolith guided him to hunt me with live bait. And I won't let you finish him.
It was him who killed the mercenaries and hunters.
They were bait. A way to catch my attention.
I'm looking for any information about Strelok. I know you two have some history.
I doubt Strelok's figured out how to bring the dead back to life. So it's up to us to help Strider. I've marked a former Monolithian hospital on your PDA. If they've tapped into the old stashes, you might find a regenerator there. I'd ask you to spare the wounded and keep them alive. Now go. Don't waste any more time.
Well, while he ties his shoes. Now, it's entirely possible to go through this entire area without killing a single person. Would I recommend it? I mean, sure, why not? Most of them don't notice you or care. You can always take the regenerator and leave. Just use as many medkits as you need, as you can always out-heal the damage. And we're back. But we'll walk into the basement for this one.
How long did you know each other?
Not long. I met him on Wild Island, back when he was still human.
He was someone who had everything taken away from him. His past, his ability to fight back, even his name. We go to great lengths to cover up our mistakes.
What do you mean, Doctor?
After years of work, a group of scientists managed to tap into the noosphere, the Earth's informational field. An achievement comparable at best to the conquest of space. It was a turning point not just for science, but for the fates of the human race. However, as with all people, each of my colleagues was truly interested in only one person: himself. They began to dream of worldwide fame, of laurels crowning their bald, shiny heads. Naturally, the truth couldn't come out about secret laboratories, brutal experiments, and other such dubious undertakings. It was out of the question. And so, they all got carried away with their dream of a perfect world. You know how the saying goes, great minds think alike, though fools seldom differ. And lo and behold, what do we have decades later? The Zone, in our image, after our likeness.
You were there, right? For the Sea Consciousness Project?
I was once as deluded as they were, but my doubts soon outweighed their confidence. And so when the experiment took place, one of the pods was left empty. The eighth one, or rather, the first, Dr. Kaimanov's pod. My pod.
So this man had a part in most of the labs that we've explored through the games. Kaimanov wants to know if subtle matter is actually real. We need to find some kind of cartridge in an X3 station, which just so happens to be in the Cordon. And dude, I went to the Cordon like 20 hours ago, and now I'm supposed to go? Sidorovich also wants to do the you do a thing for me, I do a thing for you. Literally no one just wants to help for the sake of it, but you find a door decoder, so hooray. It's kind of funny because Sidorovich is no help anyway. So you ask around Rookie Village about X3, but you really only need to talk to Wolf, who mentions not the location of X3 either, but a new stalker, Dark. Now, Dark is a man held captive by some mercs. We kill everyone there just to say hi to him. Hello, Dark boy. And then I go to X3. There is quite a bit of rigmarole to explore through the lab. A few testing pods, so some form of mutant testing happened here. But of course, it's time for the 1v1 of the century. I promised like 4 hours ago and in a different video that the pseudo giants were dangerous. Well, now they are so dangerous, they're almost unkillable. Dark is also here in the boss room to help shoot it, but more often than not, he's putting bullets into you. The pseudo-giant sports a ground pound attack that knocks you on your feet and stuns for just a bit, as well as his charge attack that does the same. That stun lock is so long that you could consider it to be a one-hit kill. Oh, and make sure you have full health fighting this guy, because even the slightest bit of damage means you're low enough to suffer a proper one-hit kill. So the pseudo-giants also have an insane amount of health, and running around putting bullets into the thing for 4 minutes is not my idea of fun or challenging, especially since it can one-shot you, and the only reason my health was slightly low was because Dark kept fucking shooting me. So I have no shame in saying that I switched the difficulty to Rookie just so I didn't have to fight it anymore. And even then, 3 minutes to kill this thing, I still think is a bit much. But right after me and Dark work together to see what's on the other side of X3's main door.
I'm not looking to make friends. Skiff.
Skiff? You got some, curious friends here.
Oh yeah, baby, he is back! My buddy's back! And I guess he's figured out how to reverse the brainwashing he endured. Because unlike Dark, he's not suffering from the bone-itis he caused.
I didn't do anything. It was the TVs. They're neurovisual programmers. Those previously affected by them can't survive another exposure. He's a C-consciousness agent. Killing me was just a program planted in his head. The Stalker program. That's what C-consciousness called it.
I'm with Spark. They know what's really going on in the zone. Maybe they can help me find a new place to call home, too.
You're like a moth drawn to a flame, ready to get burnt to ashes. All that calm and good Scar and Korshinov talk about is just a smokescreen. What they really want is to control the zone. Each in his own way. No. The zone doesn't owe anyone a thing.
Have you ever heard of the subtle matter theory? Kaimanov wants to test it.
Immortality in the noosphere. The C-consciousness scientists are dead. I killed them. All of them. And took a piece of glass from one of their pods as a keepsake. It's real. And so are the bullets. Subtle matter is an induced illusion. A Psi radiation technology C-consciousness used to manipulate people.
Induced illusion? Like Faust's phantoms?
Like the Phantoms, the Wish Granter, the Visiographs, the Scorcher, or the Shining Zone. Do you want a peek? It's right here. You can grab the data the doctor wants along the way. Just be sure to shut it down on your way out.
What I don't understand is how the Stalker program is still going on, but I guess it's better to not ask questions. There's an elevator here. It leads to a grove just above the lab. It's quite beautiful, don't you think? Full of greenery, the birds chirping and butterflies flying, and a house overlooking the area. It's so cozy. The sounds of the fire crackling is soothing. The warm lighting of the sun feels so inviting. In the back room is the cartridge. It feels so alien compared to the beauty around us. Our job is done. Whoa. Oh, whoa. It's not real. Well, of course it's not real. It never was. How did I think?
When I found this place, I realized the Zone can be true to herself as long as someone keeps trying to use her to fucking brainwash us. I just wish I knew who that someone is right now.
So the Shining Zone is a lie?
I saw it when I took down Sea Consciousness. It seemed better. So bright. So real. Or so I believed. Right now, I've got to find a way into the Stalker program control center. The neuroprogrammers in X3 should be connected to it. But keep in mind that the Ward and Spark are my enemies. If they end up being yours too, we'll get along just fine. I'll get in touch when I figure out if you're worth it. Either you're against everyone now, or I'm against you. The choice is yours. That's the price of my candor.
Well, everyone, this is the start of the crossroads. Depending on who you believe thinks best for the Zone is your ally, and now you start to choose. Well, as a fanboy, I'm siding with Straylock. He's obviously crazy, but a justified crazy at that. Next is the X-15 lab, and down here are a bunch of burrs that are just rude.
What the fuck?
Well, I count 3 burrs that all need to be killed. Kaimanov will contact us and tell us what we need to do here.
In X-15, there's an experimental unit. You need to place the cartridge in the control room. And then, get into the capsule. I'll take care of the connection. Are you ready?
To enter the pod? But why?
To see the truth.
You place the cartridge in the machine and the pod is activated. Now let's see what he means by the truth. A POV. But not my point of view. Strider's.
Skiff. What's going on? Where are we?
You're dead, Strider.
Then, I'm no more. But the experiment. Tell me we made it in time.
We were too late.
What happened to my men?
They're under control of the Monolith. I'm sorry, Strider.
May 2012. The military is storming the CNPP. Loon and Sabotage teams are in my sector. The primary objective is Quartet.
Southeast 180. Landmark. Inspection Tower.
Target, Soba 345. Low lateral.
Target. Quartet 400. Moderate lateral.
Windage. Breathing. 3, 2, 1. That was the day sea fields were turned off. Suddenly, the voice of the Monolith was gone. I felt as if I was awakening from a years-long coma. And through the scope, I saw the body of an unknown soldier fall. He was not my enemy, Skiff. I just hope he has survived and has forgiven us. You asked me about my good luck charm. Remember? It's an empty cartridge casing.
reminder from that day. I genuinely believed that I would never be a puppet again. I'm sorry, brothers. We have failed. Forgive me. And forgive me for everything you must do now. It was a worthy try, Skiff. Thank you. Stay strong.
Open up. Well, well. What a meeting. A good man in a tight spot. You don't give up easy, huh? Well, keep sniffing around. Hey, is it just me, or were you talking to somebody?
Yeah, Strider.
Strider? How'd you get here? Strider! Strider! Have you boys seen Strider around here? Strider! Strider! Turns out there is life in the noosphere. Can you believe it?
If you ask me, it looks more like a mind prison.
You should have listened better to the representative. Quit concentrating on the here and now. Think instead about what we might achieve. The shining! To get rid of the darkness that imprisons us, preventing us from hearing each other. Imagine an eternal spring, Skiff. No pain, no regret, no suffering.
You sound just like C consciousness.
I won't be a part of this. Life is for the living, Scar. If the dead start talking to us, we'll end up slaughtering each other. Then there won't be peace for us. Not even in death.
You know, all this time you've been a talisman to us. Someone truly inspiring. I believed in you. But you turned out to be a forgery. That's why you didn't get it. Shut the door! You're not worthy.
That now closes the deal with Scar. Spark is now your enemy, and you must escape the facility. Funny enough, I stupidly went through the entire area before I entered the pod, completely leaving. Except now this time I had to avoid Spark at every turn. Also, a little fun fact. There are 4 different scenes to be had with Strider. One where he gets really sad, there's one where he yells and gets even sadder, and one where we lie to Strider. Content is how I would describe it. Now at the end of the tunnels is a door that houses an exosuit. You really don't see these often, and honestly, I never liked them. Sure, it provides a ton of protection in every stat, increases your carry weight, and is the most upgradable of the suits as long as you go to one of the 2 technicians in the game that can work on exosuits. But out of the box, you can't run. Only walk. Well, until you upgrade the suit to allow sprint. But the fact that you find these so late in the game, like you don't even talk to those technicians until the last 4 missions of Stalker 2, it's not worth it. Not to me. So Straylock contacts us and tells us where to go next. And it only took me 45 minutes to get there. What could possibly be next at the comms station?
Are you at the TCPS? You just need to get inside and launch the neuroprogrammers.
Got a warden pass. I'll try the front door.
In that case, you can ask your ward friends to show you the project fiber files.
Thing is once we enter into the TCP...
Show me your pass.
Here.
All good. What's the purpose of your visit?
I want to know more about Project Fiber.
I see. Just a moment.
Well, doesn't go well. Also, here's some footage of the grenade launcher on the Groza. Cool, I don't like it, nor the grenade launcher. After genociding half the ward here, we find ourselves the basement and enter into the room of Project Fiber.
So, what do you see?
Screens. A whole wall of them. All static. And a creepy chair.
Right. Have a seat.
I think I'd rather stand.
Don't worry, it won't bite.
I hate dentists.
Are you set?
Yep.
Push the button.
Can you see me?
Yeah. Looking good.
Apparently Dark One's got 20/20 vision.
What?
That's his eyes you're looking through. Wave to the man, Dark One.
Hello, Skiff. It's Dark One. Remember how I tried to kill Strelok? I changed my mind.
Holy shit. How is this possible?
Well, sea consciousness used to have very advanced technology. Now we need to figure out what the Ward wants to do with it. Anyway, it's time to wrap this up. It won't be long before they sniff you out.
I've got an idea. Talk to you later.
I guess this makes sense. You probably need to know what your agents are doing if you tell them to kill Strelok or whatever. Oh, hang on.
Find out who we contacted. What's wrong with you, soldier? You're a constant thorn in my side. You helped Strider, got mixed up with Spark.
I eliminated Faust.
And for that, I'm grateful. Sit down.
What is this installation, Colonel?
Look, I'd love to gather all you stalkers around the campfire and explain exactly what we're guarding and why. But I have no desire whatsoever to trip over your soiled mattresses while on patrol. I've been ordered to keep the aftermath of Project X a secret from the likes of you. It's too bad you trusted those dreamers. You've got a knack for it, you know? Taking people at their word. Who was it?
The Dark One and Strelok.
You trusted Strelok? An agent of sea consciousness?
Strelok is an agent?
The Dark One, Scar, Strelok. Sea consciousness bred them like cockroaches. This installation will help us find every last agent, but only within the perimeter. Unfortunately, many of them have already left the zone, and if we do nothing, houses on the mainland will continue to burn and collapse. This is reality! Miracles and fantasies are for those who can't face up to the real world.
Now you have your second option. Are you going to side with Ward or try to escape?
I'm on your side, Colonel.
Yeah, I'm escaping the Ward. See you later, bitch. Oh, fuck.
Bold move.
We wake up in a prison only to hear Dalin's voice. Turns out the big head we saw in the visiograph is this man's father. Subtle matter is just an imprint of one's consciousness, and we tell him that his father is long gone. He's gonna be nice to us and give us the key to our cell.
And Skiff, if our paths ever cross again, remember, I'm on your side.
Now I hear this is what the experts call a low point. Pretty much everyone but loners are out to kill us. This is a very minuscule and not that interesting stealth section until you find your items, and then it's not. So you spend a bit leaving, and Strelok contacts you about a man named Generative.
Where have you been? Generative tired of waiting.
That's right, we got the name drop. That's every main character we've had up until now. We haven't met him yet, but still. It's off to Yaniv Station, in a more accurate area this time. And a new faction, the Core. They're like the Ward, but only for Pripyat. Except we have to find the Stalker, Spirit. But who knows where Spirit is?
1, 2, 3.
That's right, Richter is here, and he's drunk.
I'm looking for Spirit to take me to Pripyat.
What are you hoping to find there? The heart? The heart of Chernobyl? Huh? Is that what Strelok's after?
The heart of Chernobyl? What's that?
An artifact. Whoever finds it can learn to understand the zone and become almost one with it.
Would you believe it? The game is named after an artifact. I'm sure it's gonna have a big importance in the story. There's a tornado on my screen.
What the fuck?
Like an actual real tornado here. And it's gonna spit out a man. Okay, that's timely. If I reach Generative and he says no me gusta, I'm gonna lose my mind. Whatever, it's not that cool anyways. You know, these train cars are fused together. That's pretty cool. Once upon a time, Scar came this way to get to Lamax, but that's been changed to the Duga. And this tunnel no longer leads anywhere. Spirit is here, but he's dying. All he has is a keycard to open the science center south of Yaniv. Another scanner is here, and it disables anomalies. And it's used one time to reveal a path to Jupiter. But if you walk for like 5 minutes, you get to Pripyat. The sun is always shining here, apparently, and I think I came down this exact road in the first game. Oh, Pripyat, how I love thee. The urban explorer brain I have fires up whenever I explore here. I don't have the money or the balls to go to Ukraine, so this is my only other option. Amazingly, this is almost a one-to-one recreation of the city. Pripyat is not that big, but still, it's incredible how close the recreation is. You're able to find the Ferris wheel here and a reference to Call of Duty 4. There are a lot of Monolithians, so expect quite a few firefights to be had, not to mention all the mutants as well. They are also here in the energetic Palace of Culture, the large community center that now contains the FOB of the Corps, as well as their leader, Major Digteriev. I mean, Colonel Digteriev.
Thanks for dealing with those Monolithians.
I told you, Skiff is a one-man army. Oh, hi, by the way.
Yeah, you're always here, Richter. I know. So the Colonel gives us two options to find Pripyat's underground, the Prometheus movie theater or the laundromat. Though you can find an underground facility just exploring a random apartment complex. Too bad chains exist. Sadly, the laundromat has seen better days. Giant bubbles of soap in the air with fruit punch on the ground. In concept, the green slime would dissolve our bones and turn your legs into jello, but again, you can just spam heal and it's not really an issue. Well, you do find a flash drive, but the information here is pretty dang useless. The ward's here though, and you can find the entrance they were meant to use at the bookstore on the dude's PDA. So that takes us back to Digteriev.
You're taking too long, Skiff. We could lose Pripyat.
Shut up.
So, what do we have here? An underground military facility called the Foundation. 2 entrances, the Policia Hotel and the Olympia Cafe. Which one strikes your fancy?
Well, for this, we're going to Policia Hotel, but we'll check out the cafe later. This underground entrance is about as underground as you can imagine, but I like to think of it as the, oh, this is the end of the game section. Every side quest that I didn't do is now getting canceled, like me in the near future. Also, you'll notice a ton of crates, ammo, supplies, all that. Almost like there's about to be a fight or something. And there is a controller mutant, some rats. Dahlin even contacts us.
I hope you can hear me, Skiff. Korshunov's already in the main hall. They're just waiting for the new control unit. I'll do what I can, but please, don't try to charge in head-on. You'll just get yourself killed. Use the video surveillance room on the 2nd floor. I'll open it for you. I have the means to do it.
But a little further, we meet up with the Colonel, who somehow got ahead of us.
Let's go on 3. 1, 2. Don't fuck this up.
And why the hell are you stalling? You just need to disconnect one stupid device and connect another in its place.
Don't worry, Colonel. This equipment hasn't been maintained in a long time. We need to be extremely careful.
Darling, don't act up. This ragtag bunch can't get to the generators on foot. So what was the point of opening up X11? Just do this, and soon the name Dmitro will echo round the world. We need someone we can all trust to get those fucking hoops spinning. And we both know the representative isn't an option.
But my father...
Your father's dead! He's gone! I saw them boiling in those pods with my own eyes. The goddamn physiograph is just a fucking talking TV set!
There's no way to know for sure, but if there's even the slightest chance...
You're not a scientist, you're just a lousy piece of shit.
Oh yeah? Fuck you!
And go! In the battle against Korshinov, you will have to fight against everything the Ward has on standby. Even slightly peeking out your head from cover is enough to destroy your health. Korshinov can leap at insane heights and distances.
Whoa!
His confidence? Evident.
Oh my god.
The only way to survive is to shoot the bubble around his head, disabling his suit long enough for you to get a stab or two in. That's when the ward finally shows their face. From every angle except the one you came from, military soldiers diminish any amount of cover you have and corner you to the smallest area you can persist in. You disable Korshinov for the second time. A kernel for a kernel. You retrieve Faust's pendant that was stolen from you, and you bring it to Dahlin.
You got it? Here. Are you?
We are the result of an experiment, Andy creating a super consciousness called sea consciousness.
Father.
According to our calculations, Earth is surrounded by a special informational field, the so-called noosphere. It links all sentient inhabitants of the planet and stores their mental images.
What's the true scientist rule?
Our main goal was to make small adjustments to the noosphere, allowing us to remove things like anger, cruelty, greed, and other negative factors from the planet.
Dad, like you said, what's the true rule of a scientist?
Individuals are unable to affect the noosphere.
Be quiet.
But sea consciousness could.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up! It must be erased, destroyed, eradicated. I want it wiped out forever, without a trace, without pity! Skip! Help me with this!
Another emission. They aren't giving us any breaks. Hope Deggy's found some shelter.
Monolith seems to have lost interest in Pripyat since we took down the Foundation. They're pulling out of the city. Some of them are heading to the CNPP, others to the Red Fortress.
This ends up being the final decision of the game, but can I just praise this game for a second? We finally got a fast travel. I know it's only because they didn't program the zone splitting itself apart, but Richter, thank you. For the first time I ever fast traveled without spending a single ruble.
That was quite a trip, huh? You go ahead. I'll wait here.
No problem. Not even gonna talk about it.
Well, the doctor's still here, chopping the firewood.
You're back. The monolith is no more, and yet its cause lives on. The greatest temptation is trying to control something we do not fully understand. But what do we do when faced with the truly inexplicable? Some tear it up to make souvenirs. Others keep it chained up inside a perimeter cage. Perhaps all the zone really needs is our compassion. Perhaps the time has come to let her choose her own destiny.
And then, what happens?
A tragedy most horrible, or a joy most profound? No one knows what the zone truly desires.
The zone is not sentient.
And yet, has a big heart. One that craves freedom and the death of her tormentors.
That's what Stray Locke wants.
He believes that he has been reborn here So he will protect the zone, that's for sure. But how does one know the value of freedom if one has never been free?
We can't just unleash an unfathomable monster on the world.
Do what you must. Whatever will be, will be.
I sure hope that was the right decision. Richter catches up with us.
I assume the doctor is dead? Makes you wonder why Strider came here when he was looking for the doctor. I met him once. The doctor, I mean. He told me that if you keep a blind dog in a cage long enough, it won't come out willingly when you open it.
With that, Richter's ready to take us to the next area, the Red Fortress. Not to be confused with the Red Forest, this complex would have been reactor number 5, but it was never completed. Richter gets hurt, and this is as far as he's going. All of Monolith has flocked here one way or another, and this is your last chance to explore the area. You still can't go to the sarcophagus of reactor number 4, but you can explore these grounds, if you will. This whole battle is just to meet with Strelok, who somehow reached the top already.
Did he suffer?
No.
Good. He didn't deserve to.
And the bullet was well deserved? It's a shame you treated him like that.
Tell me about it. You think I didn't try to spare his life? But the zone couldn't be free unless he died. And it was worth it. Just look at it now. No, Skiff. I won't let anyone have the zone. She gave me a new life. One that I'm ready to give back if I have to. I will always protect her.
I will help you.
Good.
Strelok is a resourceful man, and we're teleported to a new underground lab. I can't reveal where we're at just yet, but the grounds are sparsely covered with the dead. Someone's here. Strelok is going to booby-trap the teleporter we used, and we'll find the uninvited guest. Aside from the Monolithians, of course. The lab here is the most funded and expansive lab of any complex in the game. You make descent after descent, getting closer to your goal. At the bottom are high-tech cells. Bodies from who knows how long. That's when we reach the final door. The brainwashing center of the X Project. It's not functional, of course.
Jesus.
It's been a long time since this room was operational.
Poor Scar. I knew him, Skiff. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. And now, how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Oh. Where be your jibes now? Your gambles? Your verses. Prithee, Skiff, tell me one thing. Do you think the representative looked of this fashion in the earth.
I guess.
And smelt so. What a miserable end, Skiff. The representative dies. The representative is buried. The representative turns to dust. The dust to soil, the soil to clay. And who's to say that clay won't end up a stopper for a rusty rain barrel? Just to think, once he determined the destinies of all these stalkers. So this is why, in our own dreams, sometimes we see their memories. Yes, but the representative is alive. Yeah. Only the enemy claims there is no life after death. If that is the case, then there is no shining zone. And if there is no shining zone, then all these lives were wasted in vain, Skip. No, we know it's not true. Oh. I've lost my head through this cause, along with all in it.
Scar, who could survive emissions, who became an agent of C consciousness, is the next obstacle in the bowels of the Stalker program. Scar never even knew he was an agent, and definitely didn't know that he was implanted with memories of a man named Marshall. The room has been booby-trapped with explosives, and he carries his own Gauss rifle, not to mention his own impenetrable suit. There are 3 buttons in this circular room. The TVs flash on, and Scar becomes incapacitated like the agent he is. The buttons awaken the dead Monolith on the ground, and with all 3 buttons pressed, enough bullets spell the end of Scar.
Where's your shining zone now, Scar?
Scar's PDA shows he was not working on his own volition. Everything he did was on the orders of someone else. You'll be able to find documents on different agents. Dark, Strelok, Scar, Nestor, Chornazem. At least 421 different agents were experimented on. Strelok is just over the hump, and is hurt in the foul remains of unused death trucks.
Look, it's the death trucks. And they've even got people inside them.
And the Granite. The best of the brainwashed soldiers blocks the way to X7. These are the last soldiers you'll fight. And with Scar's Gauss rifle, it is challenging, but never impossible. You're descending even further. So far into the bowels of the earth, you'd assume you're reaching the depths of hell. One final elevator to the depths of X7, where you come face to face with the central nervous system of C consciousness.
Fallen cargo returns to the machine. Seems that this is the only way to unveil the zone's real secret. The one you've been trying to figure out. Come. Hope the old man wasn't lying this time. Slide that thing back up. On my signal. Push it.
protect her. Always.
That's the end of Stalker. There are 4 different endings in the game, and I showed you one. Honestly, after looking at all the choices, this is probably the best outcome. The zone is neither going to hurt nor help anyone ever again. Except like thousands of Monolithians that are all slaves to Sherlock. We don't get to leave the zone, all that. But it means the zone will only ever be a mark on an otherwise normal world. By the way, that's the heart of Chernobyl he put in the middle of the chamber there. That cutscene finally makes sense. What was it that Richter said? That whoever finds the heart of Chernobyl
can learn to understand the zone and become almost one with it.
Well, he did. What a long-awaited arc for my favorite guy. Now, in theory, one of these endings has to be canon, right? And since I'm feeling indifferent, let's talk about the Ward. You don't have to, but let's say you side with SIRCAA back at the Institute. We work with Dahlan instead of sabotaging, but it still goes awry. Strider still tries to kill himself before he's back to being a Monolith puppet, and we've rescued Dahlan from the room. But of course, it doesn't really matter until you're confronted by Korshunov during dangerous liaisons.
I'm not your enemy, Colonel.
You don't get your shit taken, and at Yaniv, Richter is all upset with you.
Your ugly mug ain't any better.
In Pripyat, you're working with Degteriev all the same and play through it very similarly. I got to battle a Chimera this time, and the fight was incredible. So I chose the way of the cafe this time. A few Spark soldiers had to be dealt with, and here is where I fought so many Monolithians. It has great spawning here. You can clear out this area on the right? No Monolith from where I can see. Well, if I hide inside here, they start spawning to the right again.
Gee, I wonder where you came from.
And perceptive viewers will know that we're at the underground tunnels from Call of Pripyat. Everything is always so full circle. So we reach the Foundation again.
Don't act up. This ragtag bunch can't get to the generators on foot. So what was the point of opening up X11?
What happened on the orbiter station, Skiff? What did you see there?
I talked to Strider. Whether it was subtle matter or induced illusion, it felt like a mind prison.
In every experiment, there's a probability of error.
You're not a scientist. Just a piece of shit.
Fuck you!
We don't fight Spark or Loners, but the Core, which is very interesting. Even Richter has joined in on the fighting. If you want to side with the Ward, you must live with the consequences of your actions. No, I absolutely love taking Richter out. He even drops his headphones and you can listen to the music he's been listening to this entire time. After the fighting, Korshunov gives us a new command.
Left. Down, the little bitch. Kill him!
Skiff! Please, don't! Do not repeat my...
Dahlan will have to die no matter what. You can either kill him or the Colonel will do it himself.
Why are you all doing this to me? Huh? Go to the control unit. Obey an order for once.
But I don't think we're done with the plot twists yet.
Get the control unit. I'll make this carousel move.
Herman. What the hell?
Relax.
I'm sorry about that show, Skiff. At the Institute. You had so much anger in you. I just wanted to help you to get rid of it. A cold mind is what you need for our mutual success. Now everybody is alive and well. Isn't that wonderful?
He sold me out.
And he's atoned for it. You can trust him now. Don't be angry. A great cause needs a noble spirit. You don't want to ruin our little party, do you? It should have happened during the Alpha experiment at SIRCAA, if Faust hadn't made some alterations to our plan. But better late than never. Since Professor Herman replaced the control unit, the X network is in my hands. Neither the representative nor anyone else will be able to access it.
So the anomalous energy of the zone is finally under control? Just like you wanted?
Not while the link to the generators is severed. Only Alpha allowed remote access. But that's just a minor obstacle. We'll re-establish the link between the Foundation and the generators and claim the vacant board in X7. And that's how it will be. You don't need 8 people to interface with the noosphere anymore. I alone am sufficient, along with the mediator in the pod, who will serve as an intermediary between the zone and the noosphere. The mediator is a human, but a unique one. They must have Class 5 Psi protection. It's a necessary requirement that cannot be ignored. Professor Herman will fill you in on the details of our plan to restore the connection between the Foundation and the generators. I can only teleport you to the nearest bunker in the Dead Valley, Yevhen. The teleportation system isn't fully operational yet. It will take some time.
And the Stalker program will live on for whatever purposes Agatha here has for them. Herman really shows, no matter how important we may think we are just a pawn and a stepping stone for SIRCAA's goals. There's a teleporter waiting to be used by us. And I've been waiting for this moment ever since I saw the trailers for this game. The source of all emissions in the zone. In the very cut content I've wanted to see since Shadow of Chernobyl, we are going to the generators. Emissions will occur every, say, 2 minutes. You need to move from mobile lab to mobile lab, turning them on and hopefully reducing the side effects of the area. Each lab gets you closer, and those big balls of energy are incredible.
Holy shit.
But when you get to the closest mobile lab, Scar wants to taunt you on the radio.
You know, Skip, you're my favorite son of a bitch in the whole zone. Even Koshnov can't hold a candle to you. I can't wait to see you again. And I will finally fucking kill you!
See you soon, you fucking lunatic.
Now, a few jumping puzzles later, we reach the area, and it kind of reminds me of that Black Ops mission from like 15 years ago now.
Skiff, Herman has successfully established the connection. Now we just need to initiate it on the generator's side. I trust you can handle it. Let's get started.
Of course, Monolith are here, and our goal is to reactivate the teleporter to let the ward into the labs, which all of a sudden makes sense that we've been right under the generators this whole time. But if you remember, Straylock set a booby trap when we worked with him.
What the hell?
I don't understand.
What just happened there, Skiff?
An explosion.
Check the teleporter. Be careful. Well?
Somebody booby-trapped it.
Damn it! Who? I'm here.
So now Straylock stands in the way of our goals, and now you have to be the one to stop him. He can move fast, and you'll lose track of him. He'll even conjure anomalies to roughen the terrain you stand on. And sometimes he gets stuck in a wall, and you gotta reload your save. Hundreds of bullets are needed to take him down, but Straylock is still human. You find his Heart of Chernobyl artifact, studying the concentrated form of the zone itself. We let Korshunov through the portal and kill Scar all the same, and we ride the elevator down to the death trucks alongside the Colonel.
Stalkers called them death trucks. They were used to deploy agents all over the zone. The agents infiltrated the Stalkers and carried out whatever tasks they were programmed for. They were totally unaware of what they were doing. The hands and eyes of sea consciousness. I've been looking for them all over the zone. Now, seems they're on the mainland. You know, I used to have this hunting dog, and he would run round and round in circles, chasing his own tail. Back then, I thought it was hilarious. But now, I wonder what was going through that dog's mind. That one day he'd get lucky and catch the damn thing? Well, what then? Bite it? Sniff it? Lick it? Forever drag it around between his teeth? And why? Why was he chasing it in the first place? Maybe it's not about the tail. Just the chase. Because once a dog's caught his tail, what then? What's the fucking point.
Bye.
And it's bugged. Truth be told, I've been very lucky on my travels to experience very few game-breaking bugs, but here's one of them. My UI is broken, and he's not supposed to disappear like that. I eventually got this working a week later, but we make it to the pods for a second time. Korshinov gets in the pod instead, and we fall unconscious as Korshinov melds his.
Oh, yes.
To the victor go the spoils.
So it's up to you to decide his fate.
I'm glad to hear that.
To ruin our little party. You're back. Excellent. Help him up. The means justify the end. Thanks to you, we're going to live in a new world with a bright future. I keep my promises. You can stay with us, or... You look tired. I'll show you out. Striking, isn't it? Someone has to keep an eye on all of this. And Colonel Martininka does have a nice ring to it. That's your bird. Do think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Condor 1, whatever this stalker wants, this stalker gets.
Where to, boss?
Home.
We get a new home, but everything is always too good to be true.
People do not wish for the pursuit of happiness. They need their happiness here and now.
Like Scar, like Dark, like Strelok, Skiff unknowingly has entered into the Stalker program. Now he serves as an agent to a SIRCAA-controlled zone, free anomalous energy for Agatha and her whims. Do you feel like you made the right choice? Some people even call this the good ending. Let me be clear, there is no good ending in this game. Sorry for the spoilers, but it's like an American election. You're choosing between bad and worse. But honestly, I could see this as a canon ending, especially since we know DLC is planned for Stalker 2. It could very well be that we need to save the zone from the Institute. I doubt it, but it's definitely possible. Honestly, I think this next ending, as crazy as it is, would probably be my pick for the canon ending of Stalker 2. So it's back to subtle matter all over again, and this time we will side with Scar. It's pretty creepy with how Skiff changes with your choices here. I know I don't believe in some shining zone, but Skiff breaks incredibly. That moves us to the Foundation. Richter and I will breach the surveillance room instead. Korshinov nearly kills us before Richter saves us and dies for it. This works like a charm, clearly. We activate the Foundation again, and right before Dahlin is about to destroy it...
Dig deeper, darling. Dig deeper, son.
It's all real. It's always been real. The miracles of the zone. Subtle matter. Eternal life within the noosphere. And I nearly destroyed it. Almost deprived humanity of its chance at immortality. I could have killed my own father.
There are a lot of people who are oblivious to the truth. Even I had my doubts at times.
The Colonel never had any doubt. He was always willing to kill and die for the lies spoon-fed to him by Agatha. I wonder what he'll say once he returns from the dead. I really meant well. I believed that I could make the future a little better. But Agatha's plan was never about the good of humanity, was it? All she wanted was total control. And if it wasn't for you, she would have achieved it. I don't know if I would have found the courage to get to the truth if you hadn't opened my eyes to it. Humanity will finally attain the life it deserves. A life without pain, without death, without hate.
Maybe, after The Shining, great experiments will finally be performed without casualties.
Sounds like a promising future. Best of luck to you. See you in the new reality.
This is the turning point for the Spark ending. We can even have a talk with the representative for a little while.
Greetings, Skiff. The last time you conversed with a representative of Sea Consciousness, it was comprised of all its members. Thanks to your assistance, I can finally speak for myself.
I've heard about induced illusions being part of the Stalker program. I wasn't completely sure if subtle matter was real or if you were just a holographic projection.
The Stalker program does indeed exist, but its function differs from what you might imagine. It doesn't generate illusions, but rather enables the exchange of data with the noosphere.
But eventually it's time to leave. Off to the generators, but first to the Dead Valley.
Nice fireworks, huh?
Richter.
Looks like I really am your guardian angel. Don't worry, Skiff. We're in the Dead Valley, but we're still alive. Just don't give up, alright? Have faith.
It gets even weirder as we enter the basement. For those that were paying attention, this basement looks all too similar to a room at the center of the zone in the Stalker movie.
Oh my god.
Inside are more friends. These ones you've killed, however, and you can hang out with them before the mission ends.
Oh my god, this is creepy as fuck. Farron. Holy shit, I've already lost it, dude.
Richter is not done helping us out. In his more ethereal presence, will guide us across the river. We can walk on water, with Richter's help, of course. You can even see the CMPP in the distance, if not for only a couple seconds.
Look for burning fires. Near them, the missions are in danger. Promise. Meet me at the destroyed convoy.
The campfires have always been a safe spot for stalkers to rest, and now they're our ultimate form of protection from emissions. When we trek further, we hear the comms of military helicopters going down during another emission. If only they had a campfire. This is the first time in Stalker history where we can witness the creation of an emission, and survive to tell the tale. You'll need to climb over a convoy that has been fused together, and the archway to the generators is the same as the wallpaper for Stalker Clear Sky, not to mention the original cut level from Shadow of Chernobyl. We kill Strelok all the same, reveal the brainwashing room again, though Scar has different lines to say.
The representative looked of this fashion in the earth.
I guess.
And smelled so. Ah, what a miserable end, Skiff. The representative dies. The representative is buried. The representative turns to dust. The dust to soil, the soil to clay. And who's to say that clay won't end up a stopper for a rusty rain barrel? Just to think, once he determined the destinies of all these stalkers. So this is why, in our own dreams, sometimes we see their memories. But the representative is alive. Only our enemies claim there is no life after death. If that's the case, then there is no shining zone. Tagan, 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 ding, ding! If there is no shining zone, then all these lives were wasted in vain, Skiff. It's not true. Come on, kids! The shining zone ain't gonna find itself! Poor Stalker. Lost his arm, lost his head for this cause. Along with everything in it.
And once everything has been turned on, we'll meet Scar to initiate the plan. This time, when Scar enters into the pod, X7 flashes with white, and we awaken to our shining zone. Not too dissimilar to Strelok's wish for it to disappear.
Richter, is this all real?
Reality is whatever you think is real.
Oh God, he plays so well.
Finally, a superstar.
I still can hear, can see, and feel. Am I really here?
Well, who's talking then?
Many stalkers owe you their lives. Thank you.
Come on, man. Spill it. Who the fuck are you?
The first ride on the Ferris wheel.
And me, Scar. Don't worry, this time you won't have to...
Just a guide. I was only showing the way, right?
Hold on.
But as you know by now, the Shining Zone is nothing but a mirage.
We're all to stand upon the sea. Through death, through darkness thus. I choose the nets that swallow me. This mortal coil failed us.
Now that's a beautiful wallpaper. No shock there to find out that this is a bad ending. Kind of. I mean, the only one seeing this Shining Zone is you, in theory, so you're the only one suffering. Kind of inconsequential, don't you think? Also, I think SIRCAA would probably take over anyways, but from how I understood it, the Foundation needs some time to warm up and create psi illusions. Once the representative said,
"Deeper, darling."
At that point, we turn from a deluded stalker to a monolith soldier, or maybe even something different. That would explain how the emission didn't affect us. Nothing seemed to change, however. This Scar ending is the only ending that seemingly kept the zone the same way we found it. And Skiff got a monolith wish-inspired Shining Zone. In my opinion, the melding of sea consciousness ended with Straylock, so when Scar entered the pod, he was not enough to meddle with the noosphere or the zone, so his life became forfeit. It'll make more sense of why with the information of the last ending, Project Y. It starts with our decision to spare Dr. Kaimanov.
That means the zone will never be free?
Do what you must. Whatever will be, will be. Take the logs down to the basement. Behind the screen with the fireplace.
But...
Just do what I said. Please. Get inside.
You'll unveil a secret room in the basement of the house with the doctor's notes. The first diary entry tells us what the heart of Chernobyl actually is. An altered variometer, and it's at least 8 times more powerful. If I had something like this back in 2006, I would have been able to connect to the noosphere by myself. This is how Straylock was able to cordon the zone by himself. And because Scar didn't use the heart of Chernobyl, he was not able to do anything. Somehow Korshunov was able to do this, but I'll go with Agata and SIRCAA were able to meddle with Project X Tech to allow Korshunov the ability to harness the zone. There are some other notes and a 5-step plan called Project Y, and most importantly is a cartridge like Strider's. Apparently this is Kaimanov's cartridge, and using it at the Orbita, we see none other than Kaimanov's memories.
take care of you. You're going to make it. Where will you go now?
To the north.
Man, being able to see all that after all this deep diving is incredible. We'll leave for the Red Fortress and confront Straylock.
Did he suffer?
No.
Good. He didn't deserve to.
He was waiting for you.
You think I didn't try to spare his life? But the zone couldn't be free unless he died. And it was worth it. Just look at it now. No, Skiff. I will not let anyone have the zone. She gave me a new life. A life that I'm willing to give back if I have to. And I'll always protect her!
The zone doesn't need your protection. She can take care of herself. Just let her go.
Your lips are moving, but all I can hear is the good doctor talking. He knew what he'd done. He would have done anything to free himself from his past. I trusted him. We were this close to unveil the real secret of the zone. Turns out he was just using me to atone himself for his sins.
He saved your life, you son of a bitch. And you never even thanked him. Every time you went to the north, you were just thinking about yourself!
And killing Straylock this time is just a slight bit different. With our newfound knowledge to help follow through on Kaimanov's plan, we enter into a room, where we might download a signature onto a cartridge, and the way to do that is to look at a Rorschach test with sound being blasted in your ears. Instead of immediately going to the X7 pods, we activate a different elevator to offices of C Consciousness, with 3 different files of early X Project research. Each scientist had their own room. Even though you can't enter them, it's apparent that each member specialized in a different field of science. Then we enter into the same room. This time we're able to explore the lab freely and examine all 8 pods. To start off, the damage variometer will be replaced with the heart of Chernobyl. And this time we enter the pod alone. We can remotely activate the OCTA.
Show me what you found.
I am blind, but it is you who cannot see for what it truly is. One of the pods was left.
You're not worthy. Get inside!
The greatest temptation is trying to control something we do not fully understand. But what do we do when faced with the truly inexplicable? Some tear it up to make souvenirs. Others keep it chained up inside a perimeter cage. Perhaps all the zone really needs is our compassion.
Duga, control center. What's going on over there? We've got anomalous activity at all our facilities. Duga, respond.
Perhaps the time has come to let her choose her own destiny.
We're receiving numerous reports of unidentified anomalous entities. Not approach or make contact with the anomalous object.
There is nothing you can keep secret that will not come into the open. It's just a matter of time. I used to serve the Monolith blindly, until she opened my eyes. To keep life's adventure going, one must embrace freedom. Such is the gift of the zone.
Yeah, what the hell? There's too much to speculate with that one. Is Skiff in a purgatory? Like, is he reliving the moment the zone called to him, and now that's his existence forever? Did zones pop up around the world, or are they just anomalies? How is the Duga already back up and running? Is the Doctor Faust, or did Faust take over as the Doctor, and the Doctor is dead? I thought Faust died. I'm genuinely not sure what to make of that part. Either way, this ending changes the very course of history, regardless of what you might interpret. If anomalies spawn outside of the zone, the rest of the world can now change and adapt alongside it. If anything, this more or less follows the book. Perpetual energy batteries and artifacts that change the world. For the better? Who knows? But the world moves on and embraces change. Man, what a roller coaster. This was an insane project to undertake, and I finally get to summarize my thoughts. I absolutely love Stalker. It's one of the best game franchises I've ever played. It's not the only series to be inspired by the books, and some of the original developers went on to make such games as the Metro series. Shadow of Chernobyl is probably my favorite game out of the series. It was actually the last game I beat before Stalker 2 came out. There's something about it that's different. You go into the game with an incredible intrigue of who you are and what you're doing before you woke up in Rookie Village. You find yourself, but also find a reason to come to the zone like everyone else. Make it all the way to the Chernobyl power plant, and like the monkey's paw, you realize that any wish for the Monolith is a curse. So you dig deeper, try and find better meaning to your journey, only to find out how deep the rabbit hole goes. Stalker has an interesting way of making you special, but not important. You can go through the games to get your desired ending, and none of it really mattered because by the end you find out how insignificant you are, and so are your choices. Join C consciousness or destroy it. The zone doesn't change and the world moves on. I know I don't like Clear Sky, but I appreciate it for what it is. If anything, it doesn't really matter until Heart of Chernobyl. But an expansion on lore, it's interesting, and another look on the zone. I've always had a love for the post-apocalypse, and this series is always mentioned as the Russian Fallout, even though it's Ukrainian. Roadside Picnic was written 15 years before the CNPP accident, and stalkers are a real thing. People go into areas like Pripyat and loot or graffiti the exclusion zone. It just so happens that there would be a real-life zone in the same area that's described in the book. But I wish Clear Sky was just more fun to play. It's interesting enough for you to care about why you're progressing through the game, but annoying with how slow combat feels with the inaccuracy. Then we move on to Call of Pripyat. I will continue to call it the black sheep of the series. For the time, the immersion simulator it's trying to be is great. The whole design philosophy is to explore the zone, to find your own adventure in an alien world. I don't think any of the games are that terrifying, but if you're weak to it, parts are tense and scary. Every journey outside of a safe place could end in your death. Call of Pripyat does feel as though it was meant to set up a future game. Degtярiev and his journey is the least important of any of the main characters, but the combat is refined, and the world is refined too. Gamma, even though it's not an official game, is also incredible. I cannot recommend the game enough. It's free to download, you don't need any of the other games, and it's incredible. I'm not a huge fan of realistic or survival games, DayZ, Tarkov, what have you. I've never been a fan, and I never will be. But with Gamma being a single-player experience, you take it at your own pace. I don't think there's another game that plays like it. Every fight can be your last, and you will die a lot. This is the best representation of the zone, and if you want a sandbox to explore, this is the game to play, and I will continue to chip away at it for years to come. Which leads us to Heart of Chernobyl. When I was a little nerd watching every trailer that came from GSC, I knew this was going to be a different game. I called from the start that it was going to be story focused and more like a Far Cry game. I think I was right. It's hard to really compare and contrast the games because they are similar. If anything, I think Stalker 2 plays too much like the first two games. As the years go by, I think our expectations for how games are supposed to play increase. But we lower those expectations when we talk about older titles. Whether it's because of lower budget or smaller teams or just, it was different back then. Stalker 2 has simple AI, a ton of bugs, random difficulty spikes and drops, but so does every other game in the series. This is exactly like a Stalker game, but I think we expect more. I've had conversations about this not playing like a Stalker game. Like the zone doesn't feel like the dangerous and you can die at any time area you would expect or want.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, the main story is the only thing that kind of works in the game.
But Gamma exists. I already have that game. I don't want an official version. I want something new and different, and I got it. If only this game wasn't so big. It's no secret this game came out rushed and unfinished. I'm pretty sure GSC Game World said they ran out of funding, so it had to get released. It's functional, barely functional, but I wish the game was maybe 20% smaller. The unfinished nature of Stalker 2 is unlike a lot of other modern games. It's so ambitious that there was no way it could ever come out so polished without an obscenely large budget. All of that being said, I can't recommend it at a normal price. I'm sure this will end up becoming one of my favorite games of all time, but at its current state, and I'm writing this on January 10th, 2025, I would not blame anyone for talking shit on Stalker 2 for being another example of modern gaming. The game doesn't run without AI upscaling and frame generation, and it seems like that's where video games are headed as a whole. I love the story of Stalker 2, and I'm so looking forward to the DLCs that are coming its way. I can finally say that my two-part series is over, and hopefully my next video isn't going to be so fucking long.